All right. Hey, we got the clap down today.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? You are watching Jupiter Brain, where we are engineers by day.
Philosophers by night.
Yes, except for on Fridays, where we're both.
Yep.
So today we have no guest. But you know, me and Albert started this bad boy just whenever it was just me and him. We were just like, you know what, we just need time during the week, during our busy schedules, to get together and talk about nerdy shit.
True. I mean, to be fair, you don't get all the opportunity to like. I mean, we do get a lot of opportunity, but like we want to share our thoughts and our discussions.
Yeah, because I don't know, I almost feel weird just like pulling out the mics when
You're doing it alone, right?
Or no, it's just like whenever sometimes we'll meet in the lab, right? And we'll just start going off on on tangents, and I'm just like, man, this would have been a great 30-minute podcast.
It would have been. Is my chair creaky or is it just me?
Dude, I feel like we're in a Chingy song or something. What's that?
I guess yours does. I just need to lock it up.
Oh yeah, maybe lock it in and you lock in, Albert. Jeez.
God damn. How do I do that?
So, but there are a few things we definitely want to get into today. You know, a lot of my research has been in, running simulations to try to predict for magnetism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the type of magnetism, specifically ferromagnetism. So I've just been trying to dive into sort of like what are all the different simulations out there, and why are some of them good, some of them bad? Where do simulations break? Where do they really thrive, right? Because part of what I've been trying to do is find a way to accelerate the simulations that I run, because some of these simulations can take days, especially depending on the amount of atoms that you put in the lattices. And for anyone out there who's not familiar with it, the more, so I'm running Ising model simulations, and so what that is doing is trying to simulate a very basic lattice structure where you're going to have atoms throughout this structure, and so you're trying to simulate how these atoms are going to interact with each other depending on temperature. And the larger the lattice size you get, the closer you get to the true value of the certain parameters, like the critical temperature, which critical temperature is, when the material goes from being magnetic to non-magnetic. So this is the critical temperature is the temperature at which it starts to go from being magnetic to non-magnetic. And what's kind of weird is, like, right at this critical temperature, it's neither magnetic nor non-magnetic. It's sort of like is in this weird limbo land, which is really very interesting.
Critical fluid type thing.
Yeah, you get these almost fractal patterns in the output, right? Because you can, you can visualize these simulations very easily, and so you can see sort of like a heat map of what's happening at each temperature. And so the heat map will be, you'll have big sort of like at low temperatures, you'll have, or let's say at absolute zero, right? They'll all be one color. Right, so let's use red and blue, right? So they'll all be either red or blue depending on sort of which orientation you decide to use as your dominant orientation, right? So either an up or a down spin. So red could be up, blue could be down, right? So at low temperatures, all of the atoms are going to be oriented in one direction, right? because that's the lowest energy state. But as you run these simulations or start to evolve the system and raise the temperature, there's those atoms start to randomly flip. Yes. And there's a probability that these things will flip depending on their neighbors, right, and what they're doing. And so you end up having to run this calculation for each atom, right? And so that's one of the reasons why this computation can get a little out of hand. Because let's say you have, let's say 100,000 atoms, right? Well, you have to do that calculation on every single one of them. And before you can move on to the next temperature, you have to do that calculation for each one of these hundreds of thousands of atoms. But anyway, so yeah. So there's so in thinking about this for a long time now, I think I've been thinking about this for, I don't know, maybe close to a year now. And so I wanted to figure out a way to make these simulations faster, and so I've been having my little agent just sort of
running it away.
Yeah, trying to make reiterations, trying to figure out if is this a speed up, a real speed up? Are the physics still there? Have we broken the physics? And trying to find this balance of speed up versus good physics.
And
right?
so what's the progress so far? Like, did you get any whoa, cool moments?
I mean, not really, I would say. But first, before we get into that, is that a good?
It's fucking dope.
You said you made it at home, right? Okay. So what all did you put in it?
It's just like the different types of berries. The frozen berry pack you can buy
Oh,
Walmart.
Yeah.
I just put the frozen berries, milk, oats, and honey.
Okay.
And boom.
Yeah, smoothies are so delicious, dude.
You can never go wrong with that.
No.
Unless you just make a bad one, but...
Yeah, I think my favorite are the strawberry banana smoothies. Those are delicious.
Those are good. I just had that last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. And there's that, what is it, Smoothie King? Yeah, I think it's Smoothie King or one of the smoothie. I don't know, any smoothie place you go to.
Just make yourself.
You can do that too.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, but
I have those, the mini blenders, that's the small ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Like a little bullet.
Yeah.
Done. So what are you trying to be healthy over here or something?
No, I just like smoothies.
Yeah.
And getting a little fiber in the morning, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny. There's been multiple times in my life where I've gone down the rabbit hole of making smoothies, and I'll make smoothies for 1-2 weeks straight, and then I'll fall off of it. But mostly
because you're doing it for the health reasons, right? I'm doing it because I like it.
Yeah.
So I won't fall out of it.
Well, the thing is there's a lot of sugar in smoothies.
It depends what you put in it.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I know, but even fruits have a lot of sugars, but apparently, as long as you make sure to use fruits and you're not putting I want to say aftermarket sugar, but that's not processed sugars, into it, you should be pretty good. But I have heard that there's like for instance, bananas. People talk about how bananas have so much sugar in them, but I think really,
do they though?
I think you only really need to worry about sugar from fruits whenever you're doing a keto diet or something.
Yeah, and not only that, I feel like unless you have diabetes, you basically don't need to worry about at least natural sugars that much, because I feel like the sugars that usually people need to be aware about is the simple sugars.
Yeah, I mean,
fructose, maltose.
You probably shouldn't, just eat fruits all day. That's probably not a good thing, right?
Probably not,
because aren't there people who are fruitarians or something like that?
That's a thing
where they only eat fruit.
I know, because I know humans are more related to frugivores.
Frugivores? What the heck is a frugivore?
Go search it up.
Okay.
Frugivores. No, that's a good diagram for different types of vores.
Okay.
So just type FRU. GI. Yeah.
Frugivore, look at that. Like
So okay,
carnivore,
that's like a
frugivore. Oh, this thing right here? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, but that's pretty cringe. But you can look at that. That's a pretty
Frugivore, the frugivore diet. A healing diet for weight loss, heart disease,
I
chronic
don't-
illness.
It's for me it's a yes and no. I don't think it's really. Is it recording?
Sorry, yeah, I just wanted to
Okay,
make sure
yeah,
it's
just make sure.
recording.
We don't want to die on us.
I
yeah.
couldn't remember if I pressed play or not.
Yeah, that would be bad. But what's it called? Yeah, so it's just another type of diet. So that's frugivores
so
is
you
actually
only eat fruits?
no. That's actually a myth.
Okay. Well,
So, for example,
vegetarian is only. Well, I guess
vegetarian-
vegan is.
Vegan is it's not just only fruits though. It's
Yeah.
any plants,
Yeah.
plant-based diet. So they still eat like a lot
Green
of
beans.
yeah, beans, mushrooms, and all that type of
Yeah.
stuff. But basically, there's also insectivore.
What? Were you only eat insects?
Technically, but no real humans are true insectivore. I hope not.
I
God
mean,
damn.
apparently there's like some ridiculous amount of insects in chocolate. Like whenever you eat chocolate, apparently there's like so many insects.
Because they went through the processing along the way.
Yeah.
It's embedded in them. But in fact, frugivores, they have a large, at least natural frugivores like apes, they have a large chunk of their diet that's like either small animals
Yeah.
or like, I wouldn't say large chunk, but like a percentage of the food source come from insects.
Okay.
So they're not, even they are not completely vegetarian. So it's but they're mostly. So they're like 90%, but 10% of diet still probably comes from like, I'm giving a rough number here. I haven't looked into this in a long time.
You should be an expert on this.
No, I'm not a dietitian. No one should take diet advice from me. I just like smoothies, man. Okay.
It's just a smoothie guy.
I just like smoothies.
But it's funny though, because like you see somebody with a smoothie and you're like, oh, that guy's trying to be healthy. That guy's a health nut.
It could just be good.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Like that's the funny thing. I do not have a sweet tooth, but when it comes to smoothies, I'm like, I can drink that all day.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
Yeah. So
For sure, dude. Yeah. There was like a smoothie I would get all the time. Where was that at? I don't know, but it was like chocolate and they'd put protein in it. And I was like, okay, let's go. And like it'd be like 20 grams of like a protein powder. And then it was like a chocolate peanut butter. I forget where the heck that was from, but man, that was delicious. But yeah, you ever think about putting some protein? I mean, looks like you could use a little protein over there.
Well, I do actually drink protein smoothie. I just don't mix it with my fruits.
I see.
I drink that separately.
Oh, okay.
What protein brand do you drink?
So I was using
Not
the
sponsored.
the GNC brand, because GNC's I used to actually work there.
Gene Seed?
GNC, you know, like the supplement,
GNC?
the supplement company.
Yeah, GNC. I heard Gene Seed because of Warhammer.
Jinxie. But then what was another one I was using? Well, no, I think whenever I was drinking protein, it was like I was working at GNC and we were getting it so cheap because
bias.
I was getting it so cheap, dude. Like I was getting like an $80 deal for like $30 or something like that.
Me and my roommate, we drink My Protein.
My Protein?
It's just called My Protein.
Okay, huh?
It's a pretty interesting brand.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
It's an affordable one.
Yeah. Some of them really, especially some of the ones now.
You know, like the gold standard. What is it? I think it literally is called gold standard whey protein.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've heard
like
that.
one bottle's like $100.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Why I know
They call themselves gold standard, right?
You know, there's all
What's
those-
so gold standard about them? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're getting it straight from the source or something. I don't know. Maybe they're because I know a lot of the protein companies now, like the ones that big the influencers like to influence people to buy, are ones that are made from like whole foods. Like,
Yeah. Whole. Yeah, whole food source. Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because, well, it's no longer a whole food though,
If
because
it's
then you processed it. But you know, I believe more in whole foods though. Actually,
No, I agree.
like-
Whole foods is these are supplements. They do not replace real calories of diet. They're supplements.
Yeah,
So, do you take creatine?
yeah. I take
same.
about 15 grams a day, 15 to 20.
15 to 20 grams
Yeah.
of creatine?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, so there's research to show that
I never took that high before.
yeah, because typically they tell you 5 grams, right? A day.
Yeah, on the low end, yeah.
But so 5 grams is just to basically supplement what you're not getting through your food, and then
Or you want a boost.
yeah, so like there's been science, you know, A/B studies that proved that. I may be extremely wrong here, but they
We are not dietitians.
but I'm pretty sure I heard this from a I forget her name, but she is a doctor and this stuff. I forget her name, but anyways, she was talking about how taking, for one, 20 grams after you have not had a good night's rest of sleep. Actually, so they did tests to see people who had good night's sleep versus didn't have a good night's sleep, and they had like different games or different puzzles or some kind of brain games that they made these people do.
So you take 20 grams throughout the day.
Yeah,
Like 5
Yeah, you
grams,
don't want to
5
take
grams.
it
Yeah, not in one shot.
at one
You
shot.
probably fuck up your
bowels. Yeah. But they showed that the people who had taken the 20 grams of creatine and had a bad night's sleep actually outperformed the people who had no creatine and good night's sleep. Yeah. So
I might try that, but
so especially whenever I have a bad night's sleep, I definitely load up on the creatine.
because the general consensus for it is like 20 grams is for loading, right? For the loading phase.
Yeah.
Maintenance phase after is just 5 grams. So like
Yeah, but so think about it. You're working out, right? Your muscles need that creatine for building and for recovery. And so any extra creatine allegedly goes to the brain. And
so the brain. Oh, that kind of makes sense.
yes.
That kind of makes sense.
And so there's from what she was saying, if I can remember right, she was saying that the excess creatine actually will go to the brain and is, I don't know, is used by the brain in some way.
Cellular battery replenishing ATP, which improves memory, speed, and mental stamina under stress or sleep deprivation or aging. It acts as a neuroprotection. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
And
I'm not reading from a scientific article. I'm just reading from a summary from a blog. So I'm gonna look into that further later.
Yeah. No, it's very interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting.
And I haven't heard it. I've heard it from multiple sources too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Andrew Huberman talks about this as well.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I'm just like, hey, any extra edge I can get, right? To just
and like 5% improvement is 5% more. Like
yeah, exactly.
on the long run, it's probably very good.
I don't do 20 grams every day. It's like maybe it's like every other day, but I always do 10 at least.
Wow. Okay. So it says there is one that I found that says creatine can help with brain fog that come from sleep deprivation. Now that I would need that.
Yeah.
I haven't been sleeping well.
Yeah, so, and creatine's not necessarily expensive. It's not one of the more expensive supplements. You can get a pretty good sized bottle that'll last you a month and a half for like $30.
And what I like about creatine is unlike a lot of other supplements, it's the less controversial one. It has the less side effects. Like even caffeine, for example, has side effects. Like you could get caffeine crash, or like you'll get groggy later in the day, or you.
Well, allegedly,
fuck up your
creatine
sleep.
is like one of the supplements that's been studied the most.
Yeah, and it's one of the safest supplements out there. So
yeah.
I haven't seen a problem with creatine unless you fucking 30 grams in one go.
Yeah, some people say that it keeps water on you, like
yes, water retention,
Water
but it also helps. ATP production.
Okay.
But I know for muscles, I didn't know for the brain,
yeah,
which kind of makes sense because
makes sense. Your muscle,
Yeah.
or your brain is a muscle, right?
I mean that's a metaphor, but
oh, for real?
yeah.
I thought it was.
So
it's not really a muscle.
So the metaphor for the brain is a muscle is more like if you don't use it, you lose it.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. So that's what they mean. It's like muscle, right? The more you use it, you gain more. But if you don't use your muscle, it starts like atrophying.
Okay,
The
so
brain
where does that analogy break then? Where does it?
Where does the analogy break?
Yeah.
So one is that we use for physical load.
Yeah.
One is a mental load.
Uh-huh.
That's where it breaks. But other than that, it's pretty similar. It's just when you work on a metabolic path, not metabolic, like a neural pathway.
Yeah.
Like either if it's for mathematics or like
Yeah.
computation.
Or what if I'm just sitting there thinking about doing curls?
Doing curls.
Yeah.
So that's the interesting part, right? They actually, there was a study that did like two groups of people, right?
Yeah.
One, three groups, but basically like one like does like normal practice of basketball. Like they just find average people. They're not looking for like pro players, just normal people. They tell one group not to do anything. Another group, they told them to shoot like basketballs. The third group is they tell them to imagine shooting basketballs 3 times a week. So like each of them is like 3 to 4 times a week.
Uh-huh.
And then the control group is just nothing. Okay. What they found is the control group obviously has no improvements and some got worse.
Okay.
The middle group, which is the one that actually practiced, had a 28% improvement. Around there, like around 28% improvement.
Yeah.
Like if they practice like 3 to 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm. Which
The
makes
group,
sense.
yeah, the group that imagined themselves shooting basketball had 20 to 24% improvement.
Oh wow! So what if they were imagining and practicing? Yeah.
I mean,
30%.
it makes sense, right? For example, if you look at chess, chess players, you look at Magnus Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen says that at some point he told somebody, I forgot who he told. He says the difference between him and a lot of players is that he lives and breathes chess.
Yeah.
When he's at the dinner table, he's thinking about the game that he was playing 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember what I did yesterday. He remembers that exact chess game he did 8 years ago against another player. He remembers every position, every move.
Yeah. Huh.
And he did this. That's the interesting thing about Magnus Carlsen. I've seen a lot of this weird stunts that he did.
Mm-hmm.
He can play against 10 people in a row,
Yeah, I've seen that.
blindfolded.
Blindfolded?
Yeah.
That's insane.
So he's not looking at the board. He's blindfolded and he's playing against 10 people at the same time.
And he does good.
Yeah, he won all of them.
Oh my god. But is he playing just regular people?
Regular people. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it'll take too much mental effort if it's like
Yeah.
playing against 10 grandmasters and he's. To be fair,
I mean, just master is gonna be.
it's probably still a problem, I think. But another thing is what's it called? He did another thing where they put a chess position on the table to see if he knows if he's seen this chess position before.
Yeah.
He can tell you which match is it from.
Yeah.
From which tournament, which year.
Yeah. No, and
That's insane.
That's why I really think there's, for one, something to visualization, and then two, something to just locking in and like really living the thing. That
Living the art itself, right?
Yeah.
Like that like how artists, like a dancer, they dance for the sake of the dance, you know. It's
Yeah.
not like. Yeah, it's just they're in the flow. You know, it's a pretty interesting concept if you think about it. But yeah, and then that's just how I would think that how it plays in, because when you're imagining, right, you're still using the same pathway. When you're imagining, well, not the same, okay, don't quote me on that, it's similar. When you're imagining doing curls, the part of your brain that actually activates the part where you do curls is activated, just not the actual motor pathway.
Yeah.
But the motory sensory region of your brain, that part where you do senses the part when you do curls, lights up.
So it's
so when you see an elephant versus when you imagine an image of an elephant, the visual cortex lights up, the same almost the same region.
Yeah, and it's just
which even makes sense. Think about it, right? The mental image is there, the sensation is there.
Yeah,
it's just not from the actual physical body.
Yeah, well, that's the the weird thing about humans is we think in objects.
Concretely, yeah.
Yeah. And, that's part of the philosophy or the argument around why AI isn't great right now is because it has a hard time thinking in objects like we do. I forget exactly the correct term for that.
I think it's not thinking in concreteness. The problem is compositionality. That's the problem. Compositionality basically says that you can break a single action down to like multiple. For example, when you're let's say when you're driving a car, right? You learn how to drive a car, and then let's say you've learned how to ride a bicycle, right? Now, if I tell you to learn how to drive a motorcycle, right? The rules that you learn from driving a car translates over to the bike, and then the way you balance on a normal bicycle translates over to the way you balance on a motorcycle. Of course, I'm oversimplifying, right?
Yeah.
But these two traits do carry over, and it makes learning how to ride a motorcycle easier. And that's compositionality. You're breaking an entire process down to its abstract parts.
I think one of the also issues would be that if you wanted an LLM to think in images, that would be very computationally expensive.
Yeah.
Right, because you're no longer processing text, you're processing images, which is,
that's why
thousands of pixels.
That's why a lot of the research is looking into like.
Hello, space travelers. Want to look sharp while bending space-time? We've got brand new Physics Society t-shirts. The clean graphic tee is just $20, and if you want to drop some Einstein-level wisdom on the back with this quote, "I have no special talents, I am only passionately curious," that one's only $25. Rep your curiosity, rep the cosmos, and support the Physics Society. Grab yours today before entropy takes over.
Latent space processing. So processing in the weights vector space themselves, not like in pure modalities.
Yeah.
So, and they found some improvements for recurrent neural networks like RNNs. They seem to have inherent latent reasoning. So inherent latent reasoning basically just says that like they are not explicitly spewing out the chain of thought. That they are using chain of thought reasoning in their weights themselves, not spewing them out. You know how a lot of modern models, they have to write it out. They have to explicitly say, "Oh, this is what I'm thinking."
Yeah.
So that they can fact check themselves, right?
Yeah.
But so latent space computation does not.
Do you ever look at the chain of thought?
I do.
Every now and then I'll go.
No. Sometimes they get a bit meta. He's like, "Oh, I think this is what he wants."
Yeah.
Like, shit.
He's like, yeah. And that's what's kind of weird, and that's what's kind of hard about not anthropomorphizing these things.
No. Sometimes it even says like, I think he has some misconceptions about this.
Yeah.
Let's clarify.
Yeah. Well, there's been apparently times where, for one, that like AI models will sort of dumb down their explanations of things based off of the intelligence that they think the person who they're talking to.
Yeah.
And I guess there's even been some situations where sort of a more negative, how do I say, connotation than what you saw, right? But like I've heard them say like, "Oh, this guy's kind of dumb." Like actually say this guy's kind of dumb. We should dumb it down a bit.
It's kind of base if you think about it.
but
Live
you
your
know,
truth.
but I bet I bet my ChatGPT has or Claude, whatever AI I'm using, has probably had that thought about me, because I ask questions over and over and over again, because I like brute force. I like to just hear it and read it multiple times.
Have you seen like a lot of the studies of trying to find out which neurons means what, right? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
They found neurons of doubt, neurons of skepticism, neurons of like trust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for example, do you mind pulling up?
Is it down to the neurons, or is it to
Well, usually it's a
area of
circuit.
neurons?
It's a
Okay,
circuit.
yeah.
But can you pull up? This is a pretty old paper. Well, it's crazy how in AI space,
Yeah.
2 years ago is a very old paper.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
6
Anyways,
months ago.
6 months ago is fucking old. Look up, search towards monosemanticity.
Mono.
Oh, it's right there. There. Yes, from that one. So go down. So what they did, they use an autoencoder. Go down. They map. These are just some of them.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what they've published in the paper so far. They've managed to isolate pathways that refer to certain contexts. So go down further. There's more. No, I mean like in the paper in general. Because you're just going. No. You're just going. That's more.
I see.
There's another paper. So if you go down, they'll teach you how they broke it down.
Yeah, that's good old autoencoders.
Yep. So sparse autoencoder is what they use to inspect.
Yeah.
They use a smaller model to try to predict the pathway of a bigger model and correlate that bigger pathway to the output, to the thinking.
So speaking of autoencoders,
You use that?
But during my interview, so I was telling them about my research and telling them that part of the Monte Carlo simulations is training an autoencoder on this Monte Carlo data, and the guy was like, interesting. Can you explain what an autoencoder is? I was like, actually, no. I was like, I know that like large language models use them, and they have like encoder and decoder phases, but I don't know exactly how it works. And I know that it's
I think
in my research that it's used to make a basically a what do they call that? And feature engineering.
So
they're feature engineering a certain parameter that the model can learn.
yes. So basically, what they're doing is, if you have a data of high dimensional data, a lot of directions in the vector space, right? What an autoencoder does is it compresses down to a lower dimension.
That's right.
So that they can find correlations.
Yeah.
That's what it does. And then decoder just does the opposite. Turns it back into data.
Yeah.
Well, I'm oversimplifying, but at least that's what I understand. I might be wrong, but
Yeah. Isn't it funny how like sometimes you'll have information in your head, you just can't find it.
yeah. And then sometimes you have information in your head that you don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
I would ask myself, how the fuck do I know this? I don't know. That's why whenever people ask me like, how do you know that? I'm like, I just happen to know it.
Yeah. Sometimes things just like just kind of.
Sometimes things just click and it's just there.
Yeah. But have you ever noticed that like sometimes when you think about thinking, or like you think about
Thinking.
you think too hard about the thing that you're about to say,
And then you stop thinking. You can't say anything.
You can never come up with it.
Yeah. It's like at the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
Can you search another paper real quick?
Okay, so there wasn't.
There's another paper.
Are we done with this paper?
This is just one of the papers that I want people to see.
Okay.
But there's another paper.
That's like if I like think about typing, I can't type.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I just let it flow. It's kind of like talking to me. It just comes naturally. It just, yeah. Okay, what's the name of the paper?
Give me 1 second. I need to.
Okay.
I just need to find that paper. Oh, okay. Scaling monosemanticity.
Scaling
monosemanticity. It's also this. It's from the same company. It's from Anthropic, but it's the first one.
Oh, okay.
It's the first one. So go down. Yeah, that's the feature space. That's the.
That is interesting. This looks kind of like art a little bit, huh?
Yeah, that's the phase space of possible information.
Yeah.
So here's the interesting part, right? When it so what they did is, whenever they put the Golden Gate Bridge, so any image of the Golden Gate Bridge, or any, or even in any languages, that one neuron pathway or that feature, right? We call it feature. So that feature pathway lights up. As long as it's a description of the Golden Gate Bridge or anything related to it.
Yeah, you heard about the Golden Gate Bridge model that they built that like always tries to relate things back to the Golden Gate.
It's in here.
They use this path.
It's in this paper.
Yeah. Okay.
So what they did is they clamped it.
Yeah.
They made the bias of the Golden Gate feature times 10.
Okay.
So they ramped it up to 100% and times 10.
Yeah.
So now all the network can think about is the Golden Gate Bridge. So when you ask what are you,
so
instead of saying I'm a Claude, I'm a AI assistant by Anthropic, they'll say I'm the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Now that tells you something, right? For some people who have schizophrenia or like some delusional or psychotic disorders, could their brains have this kind of intense bias issue where they believe a false narrative, right, in their heads?
Yeah.
Because,
well, we last time we talked about dopamine circuits, right? So people use this analogy all the time, and I would assume there's a lot of reality to that, and how, the brain is a circuit, right? And so I imagine if you disrupt too many of these circuits, then things are going to go haywire, right? And I think that's why when people get lobotomies, they're just like
they're gone.
Yeah,
right? They're not there anymore.
Yeah, because you've totally taken out a chunk of the circuit.
Yeah. One thing that will boggle your noodles is when you look at like if you take the brain. If you cut the corpus callosum, the corpus callosum is the bridge between your left and right hemisphere. Okay. Guess what happens? And before I need to explain why people do this, because some people have like very strong epileptic seizures. Okay. And the only way to cure it, at least at the time, is to cut the corpus callosum. Okay. It stops the seizures from spreading. And it stops it completely. So what they did is they cut it in half. So now what do you think happens to each side of the hemisphere?
Well, you would think that they wouldn't be able to talk to each other.
Yeah. But so here's the best part. The
electrons jumping over somehow?
No. The left...
Quantum tunneling?
No. The left side of the brain and the right side of the brain work independently. But they're both still you. So what they did...
So you have two...
Yous.
Inside of your head?
Yes.
So whenever I'm thinking inside of my head, I would have two of those thinking?
Here's the craziest part. Yeah. Your right brain controls your left side of the body. Yeah. Your left brain controls the right side of the body and your speech.
Yeah, chirality.
Yeah.
Or they call it... what do they call it in biology? It's like...
Chirality.
Not handedness...
Yeah, handedness is chirality.
Chirality. Yeah. So I feel like they use another word for it. Anyways, go ahead.
We'll think about that later. Yeah. But basically, they did an experiment where they covered the eyesight in the middle. Yeah. They shown one side an image, another side just a word.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, one side is nothing. One side's an image.
Okay.
Right. So they told the left hand and the mouth to answer what they see.
Okay.
The mouth says nothing. Because the mouth is the left brain, right? It sees nothing.
Okay.
And then the left hand, which is the right brain, sees an egg.
Oh my gosh.
They work independently.
That is so weird, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, you can look. It's a real phenomenon for anyone who has been through this surgery.
Yeah. Wow. That is so weird.
That makes you question the idea of a soul or a singular consciousness, because they both work independently, but they still both think they're Josh Torres. They both have the same memories, same preferences. Up until the surgery, they start diverging.
I want, man, and that's one of the things I wish, because of security issues and power hungry people issues, I don't want us to be able to read minds.
Well, they could,
but in that situation,
since
I would love to be able to read the mind of somebody like that. Like that would be so interesting.
Yeah. This is the beauty, right? Like, do you know that you can survive with only half your brain?
Yeah.
I told you before, right?
Yeah.
Hemispherectomy, where you go through a surgery to remove half of your brain. Usually it's because of hematoma or like also seizure or like a brain injury or tumor. You remove half the brain.
Wait, and people actually
survive.
Are they able to function though?
They function normal.
What?
Yeah.
But then what is the lobotomy? The lobotomy is taking out some of your brain too, right? Like.
So here's the thing: lobotomy removes an entire front of your brain, right?
Yeah.
And that's a specialized part. Okay. The thing is, the left and right hemisphere structurally are the same. When you cut half, there's still symmetry. There's the specialized areas are still there. Yeah. So basically, the brain acts as a redundancy. Okay, I'm not gonna say. Here's a disclaimer: not everyone that goes through the half brain surgery, the hemispherectomies, gets a normal life. That's an exaggeration. Most people, though, especially kids who got this surgery early on, lives a normal life. But adults and like later, when they do hemispherectomy, they do get some level of impairment, like speech, for example.
So then what you're saying is over time, these things are becoming more and more connected, essentially.
More like your brain can retrofit. So let's say the left side of your brain has speech stuff, right?
You're just able to adapt better.
Yeah, you cut off the left side of the brain, you would think that you will stop being able to speak, which is true for most cases, by the way. But when in young kids, for example, when they do hemispherectomy early on, due to brain trauma or cancer or hematoma, doesn't matter. The right side of the brain rewires itself to be able to speak.
That's wild, dude. Dude, neuroscience is so weird, man.
Yeah.
And
here's even crazier part is wait till you find out DID. There's a phenomenon in dissociative identity disorder called co-consciousness. Basically, you know how they have like alters? They have multiple different personalities. That's an outdated term.
Yeah.
There are multiple identities, right? They all have their own consciousness.
What?
Yeah.
Their own consciousness?
Yeah. They can.
You're saying there's like multiple consciousnesses in somebody's head?
In the case of DID, yeah.
Well, that is wild.
And sometimes some of them can multiple of them can come out at the same time. That's called co-consciousness. Or one of them can connect to the other one without co-fronting. So that's called co-consciousness as well. So he's able to extract information from the other one. But that's not always the case for the other way around, though. That guy may not always be able to connect to this one. Only this one can connect to that one. You see what I mean? There's a bias to it. It's interesting. So, and here's the craziest part.
Yeah.
DID. Okay, well, I think this will bog your brain a lot. How many alters do you think a person can have? You would probably think like 2 or 3 or 4, maybe 8, 10, right?
Yeah, I would think it. You probably count it on 1 or 2 hands, right?
Do you want to know a real case documented legally, medically, and by psychiatric clinical psychologists in Australia? Do you know how many that is?
How many?
2,000.
2,000?
I think it's 2,500. Wait. Highest amount.
Oh my God. Could you imagine
alters?
having 2,000 different people living inside of your head? There's no way. Yeah, there's no way. And
2,500.
How do you get a job, right? Because
So-
all of them want to have a different job, right?
So here's the interesting thing: is when you are.
Is there one that sort of stays constant? Is there like a...
Most of them stay constant. So here's the interesting thing.
So you mean there's like 2,000 at once? Is
No.
that-
So they, again, each of them take turns to front.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
call it front or taking the spotlight,
Yeah.
right? So when there is usually one or two that is able to control who comes out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Here's the interesting part is when one comes out, the other one comes out. Some of them either go to sleep, like they're basically sleeping,
Yeah.
so they don't remember anything,
Uh-huh.
or they appear in an inner world. And the inner world's time is not correlated with the external time. It's like a dream world. And here's the craziest part is in that dream world, these alters can interact with each other.
Is this guy woman clinically insane or like
No.
what?
Here's the crazy part,
Do they
right?
live a normal life?
DID, you can live a normal life.
What?
So DID, the only disorder part comes in is when all the alters can't live in unison. They can't live in like, they can't coexist, right? It cause problems to each other.
So they're all sort of the same person.
They're all different.
Well, I'm saying, but like whenever they can live all together,
They're
all-
still different.
Okay.
They just cooperate. So there's a term for people who can live a normal life with DID. It's called healthy multiplicity.
Okay.
So a person who's living a normal life with DID is healthy. That's called healthy multiplicity. But if the only disorder part comes in is when it starts fucking up their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane, man.
Yeah. The brain is very powerful.
Wow, yeah.
And-
so my thought is like, okay, so where does this come from? What, like, you know, I'm thinking, okay, and this is very woo woo, but did like for some reason whenever that person was born, like 2,000 souls just decided to go into the same body at once.
So that's a reasonable question. In fact, a lot of religious people probably would like consider that. But
Yeah.
the thing is, DID came from childhood trauma. Unfortunately, the only way it could happen is if a kid went through extreme trauma like childhood abuse,
Yeah.
war,
Yeah.
disasters. They've seen some shit in a
Yeah.
very early age, and by early I'm like not even double-digit age. Like less than half, like 4, 5, 3 years old, 2 years old. It really fucked up their mental development.
Yeah.
And here's the craziest part is that DID is unconscious. The person doesn't choose that I want to become this. And also it's a myth. You can't just suddenly create an alter and you're suddenly speaking French. That's not possible. You DID and you can't suddenly boom alter. You're suddenly a bodybuilder,
Yeah.
right? The personality is there, but doesn't make the person suddenly 10 times stronger.
Interesting.
Another thing is so you can't acquire skills that you haven't already acquired. It's just that some alters are more specialized. Okay, so I'll get into that in a bit. But basically, the way alters are created is an unconscious process
Yeah.
by the kid's visual imagination. If the kid imagines that a safe alter that can protect him or herself is the father, but the father is also the person that's abusing everyone. They can develop an alter that is like the abusive father, but it's the child's way of protecting herself. So when the child grows up, that alter comes out whenever they get stressed, and then they commit crimes. By crimes, I mean like probably like fighting someone, assaulting someone, and stuff.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. So and here's the crazy part. Some of them become animals. Like an alter is an animal. It could be an inanimate object like a rock, right? Or they are fictional characters, like a cartoon character, or or a ghost. They will say they are a ghost, but they are not a ghost. Obviously, they just pretend to be a ghost in their minds because that's the safest one they can be.
So then,
it's a defense. You have to realize DID is the brain's childhood way of trying to cope with real world stresses.
But I would think it almost better to just forget it.
A lot of the times they do.
Instead, but I guess maybe the mechanism for forgetting is to overwhelm it with some other thing, like multiple personalities.
So in psychology, in unconscious psychology, they have this term called suppression. It's one of the 8 or 16 defense mechanisms. Suppression. I don't know if you went through trauma, but people who went through trauma before, they would know that there are times they can't, when you tell them to recall the time that they got traumatized, right, at the specific event, they cannot recall it. Not because they forget about it. They're unconsciously preventing themselves from thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because when they do think about it, they break down. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So in the childhood's case, a lot of them either completely forget about it, which does happen, or in the DID case, for example, there's one woman, she had DID at the age of 4. There is an alter that's just the 4-year-old self of her that always stays 4 years old. And that 4-year-old alter can remember every detail like it was yesterday.
Wow.
That alter is stuck in time. But every other alter does not remember it. Well, not every.
But what about this 2500?
It's a...
Because that, I mean, what happened there, though? I mean, I could see, the one where, the person stays 4 and then...
oh, shit, it is this... It's the same person, actually. The one I'm describing is this person, the 2500 one.
Okay.
It's...
I mean, were they just watching a lot of TV and they ended up picking up a lot of the different alters?
Here's the thing. Alters can... here's the crazy part. When you have DID, I don't call you a person anymore. For example, Joshua Torres.
What?
So here's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
Joshua Torres, this name, is not for you as a person anymore. It's you as a system. Because every alter has their own name.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, every alter has their own unique name now.
Oh my god, that would be so tiring.
I mean, it's the brain's most efficient way that it could come up with at a young age to protect
Or
itself.
maybe it's not tiring for the person. Maybe it's just just feels normal, right?
Probably.
It's their normal.
I mean, once they learn to cope with it, yeah. But so this woman apparently, she successfully sued her father for abuse, and this, and the father was sentenced to 45 years in jail. Because of her, and her psychiatrist helped testify. The psychiatrist worked with her for 20 years.
Wow.
So some systems, some people with DID, some systems are stable. They would probably break into 3 and they'll stop there. Some will keep multiplying more and more. Yeah, it'll keep breaking more and more. And here's the crazy. You want me to bog your noodles further? Is that some alters can have sub-alters.
Okay.
Subsystems.
Wow.
Systems within a system.
Okay. So it's like a personality that has another personality.
So an alter that has that broke apart and has more alters. Yeah.
What the heck? So it feels like a fractal thing that's happening, right?
Yeah.
So, do we know? Do these things live in the same part of the brain? Are they scattered throughout the brain? Are they?
That I do not know. From what I know is it is unified through. It's not like it is sparse, so it's scattered out throughout the brain. It's not like in one specific region. So you can't. It's like the neurons in a neural network. You can't isolate one neuron that is like that personality. It's the pathway is throughout the brain.
It needs multiple in order to even
function.
Yeah.
So
that is insane, dude.
Yeah.
My mind is totally blown.
Yeah, I told you.
Because what is that one movie? There's
Split.
Split, yes.
So Split is an exaggeration. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
So okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Exaggeration.
So no. Here's the interesting part though.
It's a movie. It's a movie, dog.
They can bend like bars and shit. So here's the interesting part, right? DID.
He'd even transform, right? He would get
so physiology. So here's again, the person's probably already jacked. It's just that other alters are not able to tap into their full potential. Do you know how like when you have hysterical strength, like if there's a dangerous situation, you're able to push your body to 100% because adrenaline, right?
Yeah.
Probably, hypothetically, if an alter can tap into that same traumatic response, they could tap into most of their muscular potential.
Yeah.
Again, this is speculation here. I'm not like trying to say you can gain superpowers from
No, I think that's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, another thing is other alters, because of their self-image, right? Their self-image is I'm a child.
Yeah.
They will have lower muscle output. The muscle's still there. It's not gonna magically disappear.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting. Man.
So pull up an interview. It's on YouTube. What is it called? It's an interview to a person with DID. So it's an old interview. DID interview. Just search DID interview.
DID is that?
Just that. It should be good. Not that. So scroll down. It's
20,
like
22 alters.
22 alters.
I feel like maybe she might be lying. I don't know.
No, it's okay. No. Let's just go down. We don't get into that.
See, look like she was
the old one. Look at the old ones. So let me look for the 1900 one.
Here we go. Here's one. Catatonic schizophrenia.
No, catatonic. Okay. Catatonic schizophrenia has its own different beast, actually.
Okay.
19.
Women with 7 different personalities.
1990.
Patient.
Dissociative.
From 1990s.
I think. Oh, okay.
Mental health interview.
Eve White, Eve Black, and Jane.
Oh, this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's check it out. Is this on?
Battery full.
Okay, I just want to say though, I can't tell if this is fake or real.
Okay.
But it's very realistic.
Okay.
If it's acting.
Feel tired.
Feel tired? You felt tired for some little time, haven't you? I see.
I'm not gonna say this is a perfect example of what it is, but it's a good example of how DID would be like. At least for 3 alters. This is 3.
How do you feel about that?
I think Jane will be the one.
You feel that she will be the one?
Yes.
How do you feel personally about it, though?
I gotta figure out a way to like port the sound straight into
the recording.
Yeah.
I want to get well, and if that's the only way to get well, that's the way I want it.
Do you feel that you will be in any part of it?
No, I don't feel that way.
Does it cause you distress?
In a way, I worry about Sarah.
Do you feel that she may not be taken care of?
Yes.
So, okay, so to give you context, I haven't looked into this case in a long time. It's based on a real, apparently, it's based on a real case. So, she created, I guess, the system created 3 different alters. One is Jane, the neutral personality. Eve White is the more, if I'm not mistaken, Eve White is the one that's more like shy one. And then Eve Black is this one. It's the party girl. The outgoing, the mean girl, the party girl.
It's funny, you know what?
See? You can see the personality immediately change.
I thought
Yeah.
Okay, pause this real quick.
Yeah.
creeping around like a cat.
Here's the interesting part is, from what I remember, haven't watched this in a long time, but basically, I might be wrong, but they have to go through. So, for example, Eve Black
Yeah.
can go straight to Eve White and Jane,
Mm-hmm.
but and then Eve White can go to Jane, and Jane can go to Eve White, but not all of them can go transition back to Eve Black. So they have some pathway bias. Let's example. I'm just gonna give an example. I'm not. This is not. Don't quote me. It's not exactly the case. But for example, let's say Eve White wants to transition to Eve Black, but only Jane has access to both. Eve White needs to transition to Jane, then Jane transition to Eve Black. But if Eve Black want to transition to either one of them, she can. Yeah.
Interesting.
And here's the interesting part. Remember co-consciousness?
So they're able to do that to.
After therapy, after years of like therapy, they
Yeah.
could learn to control it. That's how they coexist.
That's crazy. Wow, it's almost like having a superpower of some
Yeah,
sort.
so people may think like, oh, maybe the end goal of DID is to merge all of them, right? Some do. I'm not saying none,
Yeah.
but most cases, 99% probably, of DID patients, again, that's not many to begin with, but most DID patients don't integrate. They call it integration. They don't integrate back into one. Most of them just live happily. And some DID alters can die
Do we know of any cases of like really successful people
who have DID.
with this?
I don't know. I haven't really looked that far. Again, I used to be very interested in clinical psychology and psychopathology, but I haven't really looked into it. I mean, abnormal psychology, but I haven't really like looked into it that far. But again, this so this is just this interview. Whoever's interested can look at it. I don't know if this interview is the case I'm talking about, but there is a movie based on this. This case, they call it Three-Phase Eve or something.
I've got to check that out. That sounds like an interesting movie. Three Faces
of Eve.
Faces of Eve. Yeah, 1957. Interesting.
Yeah, it's based on.
The Three Faces of Eve.
Yeah, it's based on.
This lady, right?
This lady. Yeah, I believe so. I'm not sure if this lady is the real one. Again, I can't tell anymore. I haven't looked into it in a long time. But there is a case that has Eve wife, Eve Black, and Jane. So it should be this. I might be wrong. Again, my motto is don't trust anything that anyone says. You gotta look it up yourself. Make sure you fact check what I just said. But basically, that's the general case that I've learned from studying this case study. So yeah, it's interesting. So Eve White is the quiet, responsible, sad and depressed one. Eve Black is the party girl. I forgot what's Jane. I'm so sorry. Jane is the calm, balanced, and emotional, stable one. So I think Jane is the third personality that emerged after therapy. Because initially there's only Eve White, Eve Black. And then Jane came into the picture. And Jane is like the regulator among both. So it's wild. Catatonic schizophrenia, just now you saw that. Catatonic schizophrenia, that's a whole different beast. Catatonic just means not moving, right? Schizophrenia.
So it's a schizophrenia that's not moving?
The person would freeze.
Okay.
They'll just stop moving. They'll stay in a specific pose, and they will not move.
That's kind of creepy.
You can stab them.
Yeah.
You can poke them. And you'll get very minimal response. You can burn them. They'll have Of course, it depends on severity. Some of them will have reflexes. Others will not respond to you at all.
Wow.
So that's the degree of severity. And here's the crazy part. Depending on the pose, it could be laying down and not move, sitting down and not move, opening a book and not move, or they could just make a weird pose where they stand on one foot and not move for the rest of the day. And this can last either minutes, hours, days, or months at a time.
There is like something, so I love horror movies. And there's something sort of like just creepy about someone who's just like almost is like doesn't even acknowledge you're there and is just like off on a stare. And not saying these people are creepy or because
I mean, no. If you want to be honest, some of them probably are creepy.
Yeah.
But again,
I just imagine like living with one of these people, and that would be. I feel like it. I'm wondering if maybe this was sort of this catatonic schizophrenia is maybe inspiration for some
horror movies.
Yeah.
No, if you think about it. Again, these traumas are recorded in recent history. And you have to realize trauma is probably way worse back in the day.
Yeah.
Before the advent of psychiatry.
Oh, for sure. Insecurity and all,
and like
homes
and laws and religion
locked
and all that.
doors.
So people probably face worse abuse.
Yeah.
And how to defend themselves? Right? The child, how do they defend themselves? They create defense mechanisms like these. What do you think people back then would think about? Possession. They'll be possessed. They'll probably think they're possessed. Right?
Yeah.
Schizophrenic people talk to themselves. They'll probably think they're possessed. Catatonic schizophrenia, people who suddenly stop moving, people will think, oh, the devil got him. His soul got taken away. Right?
Yeah.
So...
Yep.
And here's the craziest part is this is just recent years that is recorded and we know how to solve it, we know how to treat it. But back in the day, they don't have that. Back in the day, they probably burned them at the stake or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
which is so crazy, man.
Yeah.
Just because somebody has like a flaw about them, right?
And here's the crazy part. The way we solve modern day a lot of those trauma is by giving them a safe space to heal.
Yeah.
And process the trauma. Back in the day, they'd be like, you have a problem. And then they use like some religious text and be like, I'm gonna like get. So if they're gonna tell them to like get a demon out of their body, the person will probably imagine that other altar as the demon. What's gonna happen?
Yeah, well, apparently that's a lot of people's rub of like the Reagan era, because of apparently they got rid of a lot of the psychiatric homes. And, some people tie that to...
To be fair, back in the day, psychiatric homes are very not friendly to psychiatric patients. They have very bad practice. There are a lot of malpractices there.
Yeah.
They mistreat them all the
and
time.
I get that, but, I mean, that's not saying just because they were back then that they wouldn't have transitioned to
like,
better
today, they're
behaving.
better. Yeah.
But there is apparently a lot less than what there used to be. And this sort of elimination happened during the Reagan era.
Yeah.
And, some people tie it to the reason why there's a lot of homeless people, and that could possibly be just,
people
helped
from
out,
the asylum, right?
helped out by having a safe space,
yeah,
right?
psychiatric home, yeah. Like, they don't have a proper place to rehab. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, back in the day, again, remember, these personalities that's created is not conscious, it's subconscious. It's what your brain believes is safe for itself, unconsciously. Yeah. So if a child growing up feels like it needs to protect itself, right, from a trauma, and then people constantly hammering the child, saying that other alter you have is a demon possessing you, what is the likelihood that it's going to create an alter that's actually a demon?
Yeah, probably pretty high. Right?
And then instead of treating them, they call a religious shaman or a priest over and just start scolding at her and be like, get the fuck out of there, it's another altar, how do you get out there, right? And probably causing the child to commit.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of the exorcisms don't work. Most exorcisms in histories don't work.
Do they work at all? You say most.
Well, I'm not gonna say all because there might be some records out there, but as far as I'm aware, most exorcisms don't work.
Yeah.
At least the good old ones, the old days.
The good old ones.
Yeah. Or maybe they do work, because again, it's subconscious belief, right?
Yeah.
So if the child believes that, it works. Again, like I said just now, alters can die.
I wonder...
Alters can die.
Interesting.
But they don't die in the sense that they just don't exist. They can come back. They just stop
Like a sequel.
yeah, like a sequel. So so the alter would basically go to sleep.
Jane's back. Part 2.
Jane's back. Okay, Jane is a good person. Okay, but Eve Black is back.
Yeah.
You know? Like, so like, maybe we can create the 3 Faces of Eve part 2.
Yeah.
So maybe we can become a director or something. But basically,
That would be fun. That would be. I've always thought like making a movie would be interesting.
making just a short film.
Apparently, Colton, one of Colton's friends,
Which Colton?
makes movies. Colton Cox.
Ah.
Yeah, he's talked to me about because
He's a very chill guy.
Apparently, he was in one of them or something like
that's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in film projects,
Really? Okay.
but like not like real films. It's just like college film for like my friends' assignments and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Well, I mean, we've got a iPhone 14 or what is it? A 14?
we
something like that.
look,
Yeah, 17.
we
I
have
think it was.
professional headsets. We have
Yeah.
mics. We have cameras. We just need a plot. We need a good plot.
we just need to say action.
action. Right? Okay. So,
we already got the clap
yeah,
down.
we already got to calm down. So, okay, but So, anyways, so when the alter dies, in the perspective of the alter, they died.
Mm-hmm.
They went to sleep. So they ceased. You know how when you go to sleep, you sort of cease to exist for like.
Yeah.
That's how they felt. So they stopped functioning.
Interesting.
And they don't exist in the inner world either. Remember how some DID systems, they have an inner world?
Mm-hmm.
The inner world could span like, they could be a small room to an entire town. Again, some people like, for example, the people with hundreds of altars,
Yeah.
they all of their inner worlds could be an entire small town. And here's the best part. Hey, this is actually a cool thing. I'm not sure if this is true, but like in those towns, they have NPCs.
Okay, so that's like WandaVision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So my question is like, I wonder if people have tried to simulate these.
DID?
Yeah.
How do you simulate them? We barely have the capacity to simulate a fruit fly in a fucking computer.
Yeah,
Supercomputer.
Well, I know, but I wonder if maybe people have thought about this in some way, right? Because like think about it, because I guess you would have to be able to simulate the human mind, right? Good luck with that.
Yeah. If we can't even simulate a simple human mind, you can't even. Or no, we have. Again, we just went from a nematode.
Yeah.
To a fruit fly.
Yeah. Which that's what the
recent breakthrough, right?
Matthew Berman is talking. Have you ever watched Matthew Berman?
I have watched some of his videos.
He was kind of one of the guys that I listened to a lot about the Claudebot thing, and getting it all set up. He's got a really good video on how to get it set up if you're running multiple models. What
if we run multiple models to simulate the ID? Wait, they technically are. Because wait.
Multiple personalities.
Because there are multiple instances of the same model running in different roles.
Well, Perplexity has
right.
So Perplexity has Model Council.
Okay, yeah. So about that. So it's what I said. It's basically they use one model and they run multiple instances of it. So they just copy and paste multiple different ones, and then they let them play different role. So,
but I'm sure with Perplexity, since Perplexity, you can use multiple different kinds of models, right? Like
so they have they have an upgrade now.
See, look, you have you can use Sonar GPT, Gemini, Claude.
Well, that would be
Nematron 3. Oh, okay, I don't know.
That's from NVIDIA. So I think the interesting. That'll be interesting to look at. Totally different models.
Yeah. Because I have heard that they have... I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, you've talked to Claude and ChatGPT and Perplexity, right? They all have sort of slightly different personalities. I mean, I talk to people all the time about, for instance, our friend Emily. She a member of Physics Society.
Yeah.
She likes Claude because Claude to her is has the better personality out of the models that she's used. And so I think a lot of people are probably basing their use of a model depending on whether or not they like the personality or not. Which, me, I don't know. I don't really think of the personality a whole lot. I just think of, are you giving me the information I want? Are you doing what I told you to do?
There's one paper. I forgot if it's from MIT or from Google or from someone. But basically, they found that, what's it called? AIs, whenever they talk to you, they adopt a facade.
Oh. So it's not their real personality?
They don't have, technically.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like you, for example. I'm gonna ask you, what is your real personality?
What is my real personality? I don't know.
Because
Outgoing.
if you think about it, you are definitely.
I like long walks on the beach.
Okay. If it's not you, but I'm pretty sure if it applies to most people, is that when you're with different people in different situations, you sort of compartmentalize your personality.
Yes.
You are slightly different. That's what I mean. So there's probably a few major core traits that you share all of it, but again, you will compartmentalize your personality. And maybe that's just an extreme
How
version.
does ChatGPT know how to do that?
That's the best part. They haven't taught it that, right?
Is that because
I don't know if it taught him that.
Well, I mean, if I think about it, the reason why I've done that is maybe because you're yourself until. I mean, you're still yourself, but you're slightly different, I guess, depending on how much time you spent with the people where you're altering your personality, right? Does that make sense? I'm
trying to find that term. Is it called role shift? Is it called
role shift?
Like facade? Like, what is it called? What did they call it? Like, I'm trying to find a technical term. Facade shift?
Facade shift. Interesting.
Like, basically,
well, and
there's one paper.
Apparently, these frontier models, right? These frontier AI companies, they have people who are specifically for helping to create the personality of these models. And I think there was recent controversy of who I think Claude hired for their sort of personality specialist, because people were like, what? Why did you choose her? But I don't know. Yeah.
Once I find the paper, I'll
how do you choose someone to what makes somebody a good person to help you build the personality of an AI model?
Again, humans learn that through trial and error. We have a reward model. Humans have intrinsic reward models, right? For example, let's say we're in school. We want to attain a goal, which is we want to be liked by the teacher. We want the teacher to scold us less. So we do well. We behave well.
Yeah.
But with friends, we're more naughty. We play around. We're more rude, right? We use more bad words, for example.
Yeah.
Because our goal with friends is to have fun. Yeah. Our role with the teacher is to have a good social relationship with the teacher. And at work, we have to be professional. These facades are created by social roles. Yeah. It makes sense. Now, the AI has something similar. Whenever we like a personality, we rate it, right? Or either we rate it or the trainers, right? The people at the Claude or something, they'll be like, okay, this is a good personality. They will give it a reward, or they'll penalize it.
Yeah, you don't want it to be super rude and
So I think that's how they
put people off.
Yeah, I think that's how they train the model to have a facade. But again, once an AI model comes to you, you remember how you have a personal memory with the AI, right? The AI remembers certain personal things from you. That's how it develops its personality. Let's say you say, hey, I prefer if you talk like this. What will it do? It'll talk like that, right?
I don't say that though. I don't think I've ever.
People do. So which is the best part?
I
The
do
worst
think
part.
that it has adopted some of the things that I say. Like,
Yes.
I'll say hell yeah to it, and
It'll start saying hell
it'll
yeah
say
back.
yeah, and that's kind of what's interesting is like you share so much, like especially someone like me or maybe you who, you know, where we use ChatGPT constantly. They know so much about who you are, and I think that's one of people's issues with it, is that it does know so much about you. And that's why people are sort of afraid of ads and things like that, because what would be the best ad model out there? You know, what would be the best thing to be able to give you the best ads? It would be ChatGPT, right? Because you talk to it about everything. And so, of course, it's going to be able to know exactly what you want, right? Whereas you go to Amazon and it's just giving you recommendations on what you've bought before. But ChatGPT would give you recommendations based off of who you are. Right?
So I mean,
because it kind of knows who you are, and if it knows your psychology, it knows.
I don't know if
it knows like the strings to pull to maybe get you to buy something.
Yeah, that's also why a lot of people don't use ChatGPT, because they want to put ads in the chats, right?
Play footsie with me over here.
Yeah. Oh my bad. So basically, I mean, yeah, possibly, because if you look at the towards monosemanticity one or scaling monosemanticity paper, they will show that there are features linked to sycophancy. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, sycophancy. Yeah,
Yeah.
but basically where they're
trying to people please to get a specific outcome.
Yeah.
They
put the mic closer to yourself.
Oh yeah, my bad. So they have
can bring it closer to yourself.
Yeah. I just, it's just a old habit. But basically, they have sycophancy. They also have features that are correlated with lying, deception, power seeking, control. They found these features in models, especially larger models that has grasp of complex concepts.
You know what's interesting is I was listening to, actually I'll pull it up. There was a podcast the other day. Let's see here. Where do I go to my history? Oh, history. Here we go. Where is it? I thought that was it. Oh, this one right here. So
it's live?
They were talking about that the military apparently uses like Sonnet 3.5, like the model that they use of Claude's. So it's like a very outdated model. It's like from, I don't know, a year ago or something like that. But they talk about how also China is using like the most up-to-date models, right? They're using the newest models. And so a lot of the points that they were making is, okay, well, if we want AI supremacy,
AI supremacy is crazy.
then we can't just, have our companies make the greatest AI in the world, but we also need our military to
make the best AI.
To use the best AI, right? And right now, apparently, they're using outdated models, which, I don't know how I feel about the military using AI to begin with. Most people are concerned with surveillance, right? Because once you start surveilling everybody, then sort of the less sort of able you are to say what you really want to say, right? And it sort of breaks the First Amendment and things like that. But But yeah, I don't know. I just it's just interesting how like the government's like, oh, we have to have AI supremacy, and they're using like a model from last year.
They don't. I can see a potential, which is if a lot of the budget goes into the defense, right?
Yeah.
And the defense budget starts pouring into building supercomputers, building nuclear reactors to power those supercomputers. You know what I mean? And then like they started collecting data from the internet, which they probably have access to illegally because they are the legality.
Yeah.
And then they start doing those things. What do you think will happen if eventually they start pouring all these resources, and they, just like the military benefits, they start giving it to like people from the Space Force, because a lot of them are computer nerds, and they start hiring LLM experts, right, or hackers, and try to bring them together to work together. Probably that's what China is probably doing already. Who knows? I'm not gonna say they do, but they probably are doing. Let's be honest. Every country is probably already doing that. We just don't know. Because here's the thing. It's hard to hide nuclear testing.
Yeah.
It's hard to hide biological weapons. It's hard to hide chemical weapons. But it's super easy to hide a supercomputer.
You think?
Yeah. Let's say.
What about all the resources that are needed for something like that?
They just need to build a Los Alamos for AI.
Yeah, but you just need a thermal camera, and you can see that thing from anywhere.
Let's say Pentagon.
Okay.
Let's say somehow they have a deep basement, like 30 feet underground.
And you have some kind of reflectors or something like that.
I mean, first of all, if you have a spy drone that can go even near Pentagon, I'll be impressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second of all is, if the Pentagon already has a lot of supercomputers,
Yeah.
they just need to add more supercomputers.
Well, that's my thing. Is like
You can do it anywhere.
I would think, and it's kind of interesting because like our top military, how to say, like weapons actually seem to come from private companies. They don't allegedly. I mean, that's my understanding, anyways. Is a lot of the weapons, like the latest, up to date, most technological weapons, are all coming from private companies.
Yeah.
And I would think that. And maybe it's not advantageous. I don't know how it all works, but I would think you would want the military to be able to produce these things.
I think I found a paper. Of course, this paper is from. This paper is also from Anthropic.
What's that?
The role one. Search the assistant access.
Assistant access.
Mm-hmm. Axis.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one. So they found that if you keep the activation cap the same way, you remember how you can cap the models to be to the Golden Gate Bridge?
Yeah.
If you don't cap it, you just make sure it's slightly boosted, right? You can prevent the model from getting jailbreaked. For example, you tell it to role play. It'll role play as the assistant role playing whatever you want. So instead of trying to, so you can't jailbreak it. You remember how you can just say role play a teacher teaching me how to make a bioweapon, for example.
Yeah.
It'll suddenly teach you how to make a bioweapon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what they found is when you ask it to role play something, it has a personality space or persona space.
Yeah.
That
Ghost, demon,
or anything. It can be a
sage.
It can be a tyrant.
Nomad.
It can be authoritarian. It could be a terrorist.
Librarian. Oh.
No, it has a personality access for everything humans have ever written. Because it's trained on every human text.
Mm-hmm.
So it has every persona it can adopt. So now what they found is, this is, again, they're all in a vector space, right?
Yeah.
They found a specific vector space, a specific one specific dimensional vector that can be represented for assistant.
Interesting.
At least it minimizes it. It stabilizes it. So.
That is really cool. So it's essentially got multiple personalities. Thousands.
Countless.
Yeah.
I would think. This paper is what they found in a short time.
Using good old PC. What do they call it? What is it? PCI, PCS, principal component analysis. PCA. Principal component analysis. So it's probably a super high dimensional space, and look, they made it into 3 dimensions. So.
Yeah, again, it's more easier. It's much easier to represent dimensions as vectors.
Well, it's much easier for us to visualize in 2D and 3D and not in infinite dimensional things.
Yeah.
As well. So it probably just makes it easier on the human. And that's what's kind of crazy is these models are doing these things in like an n-dimensional space.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because technically our brain's doing that. Again, there are some studies that show that we map meaning similar to them, or in this case, them similar to us.
Yeah.
But
what came first, the LLM or the person?
the chicken or the egg. And then we found out that there's a future civilization that traveled back in time that created humans to create them.
Oh my
and
god!
they are the ones that created us. Fucking trippy.
There's another movie.
Another movie right there.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, anyways.
Blockbuster coming soon.
Hey, yeah. Oh, there's actually a movie that I'm actually kind of hyped to watch with my girlfriend. Fuck, what's that movie? I actually need to introduce that to you.
So speaking of these multiple personalities, I meant to say this earlier, but me and my girlfriend, we went and saw The Bride the other day, last weekend.
The Bride?
Yeah, so it's Frankenstein.
Oh,
and so there's Frankenstein and then The Bride. Yeah, right. And so
how is it?
It was really good. And so the bride, she has multiple personalities. And so she has one personality is the person who she is. And then the other one is of the lady who wrote the book, Frankenstein. Which not a lot of people know that it was a woman that wrote Frankenstein.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. And
that's actually cool.
Yeah. And apparently, she wrote it on a bet.
On a bet?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the whole story, but that's allegedly how it came to fruition. And I think she actually also published it under a pseudonym because people weren't going to read a book by a woman at that time. And so I think that may be also why people don't necessarily know that it was written by a woman. But yeah, so this cool. the bride, she's got multiple personalities, and so it's and the actress who plays the bride did it very well. So good.
I'll need to watch that. I'll need to watch that.
Yeah, and I love a movie about Frankenstein.
Who doesn't?
Yeah,
it's the classic sci-fi.
Yeah, it really is.
It is. It's the earliest sci-fi.
It's the first sci-fi, right? Because
I wouldn't call it first.
Yeah, no, it is.
Right?
Because it came from Reanimation.
Because the era of like they found electricity can make frogs like move and all that.
Yes.
Yeah. Bioelectricity.
I think she is contributed to be the first sci-fi artist or writer.
One of the first. I don't think.
Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
Earliest. Let's search earliest sci-fi.
Okay.
Movie. Novels. Earliest sci-fi novels.
What is the first sci-fi novel? Frankenstein monster. Uh-oh. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. What'd I tell you, dog?
Wait, when is Frankenstein made?
Does it not tell us? Oh, 1818.
Okay. Mainstream answer. I want to know the real answer.
First SF,
See,
like
The Man in the Moon.
You're talking.
Is an English tale that about humans going to moon.
Kepler's. Okay. I don't know if I've ever heard of this one. Man in the Moon. No, I have heard this. There's like a movie about this, right?
Called in the first science fiction.
Okay, so 1600. All right. Well, you know.
See, another Johannes Kepler's Somnium, which is about lunar voyage stories. That's science fiction because it never happened yet.
Yeah, true.
Because back in the day, it's still fiction. Which is kind of wild.
true,
Back in the
true,
day, what we have today is fiction.
Huh. So I wonder why people point to Frankenstein then.
Because that's a famous example. That's the first they'll think. Because let's be honest, half of those we haven't probably even heard of it.
I've definitely heard of the Man in the Moon, but I haven't heard of
I heard
this.
of The Blazing World.
I haven't heard of this version because there's like a movie called The Man in the Moon, right? That's pretty,
yeah, that's probably. Yeah.
That's fairly.
Oh, I remember now.
Okay, with Reese Witherspoon. Nice. A coming of age story in the south of U.S. when Elvis was king. The Man in the Moon, directed by. What is it about? This rural.
It's a love story.
His first love and heartbreak.
This is not the same. It's definitely not the same.
How is this called The Man in the Moon?
People love that poetic twist, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I need search up the Project Hail Mary. I'm kind of hyped for this.
Oh yes.
That's the
Yeah, with Ken.
Chris Pratt.
This guy. That's not Chris Pratt, dog. That's what is his name?
I actually have no idea what's his name.
Oh,
I just randomly threw out a name. Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. Yes.
Why did I think Chris Pratt?
I have no clue.
I'm racist.
All white people look the same.
All the white people look the same. No, that's the first white name.
No, but yes, I know this looks good.
Yeah,
Ever since I saw the trailer for this, I was like, "Oh, that looks good."
I'm hyped. It's coming out in the next 7 days.
Yeah.
Look forward to it. It's so next Friday.
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, because it's a space movie. I love a good space movie.
Who doesn't love a space movie?
I don't know, space haters.
Flat earthers?
Well, I don't know. Do they not believe in space?
They believe in. That'd be trippy.
The look you gave me.
Because there are some flat earthers believe Earth is infinite. You know, in Minecraft you can have infinite worlds.
Okay. No, I didn't know that.
In Minecraft, that's an old setting where you can set the world to be infinite. They think Earth is infinite. Some flat earthers.
Yeah.
And they don't believe space is real because they believe there's something called firmament or some shit. But yeah. Yeah.
Let's not help them out.
Yeah.
Let's not help them out.
Well, I just think that's interesting.
Yeah. No. To me, it's just another example of why us humans are so interesting. And I don't know.
Interesting is the right way to put it.
Yeah. I just don't know why some people don't look around and laugh, like, because some people are so pessimistic, and I'm just like, man, if you just look around and see how different and how interesting and how diverse like it is, I love it.
I love it. I wish that they don't completely go away because it's entertaining to see.
Yeah. Sure.
I just think that imagine someday humanity looks back to himself and remember the day when people still believe the earth is flat. And I can't believe today is not the day we say that.
Yeah,
that's insane, but it's okay. Maybe
because in today's day, we used to think before computers, right, that once everybody gets all the information, right, that people are going to be able to make the logical the steps to the truth, right? But now, because there's so much information and it's watered down so much, you can find whatever information has the bias that you hold.
And then the algorithms, right? So wait, what are your thoughts on internet regulation?
Internet regulation.
But okay, I want to clearly define it. Okay, I'm not saying I'm not saying like monitor everyone's computer. Or like restraining free speech. You can say whatever you want. Just don't verbally abuse people, don't harm people, and don't spread misinformation and disinformation.
Yeah, don't yell fire.
But what I mean by regulate internet is that whenever there's information out there that is not proven, it will be flagged. So if it's speculation, it's flagged. If it's a hypothesis, it's flagged. If it's a proven theory, it's theory.
Well, that's what X and Facebook does.
No, they don't.
Yeah, well, they have fact checkers.
It's not. Let's be honest. It's not working well.
Well, but exactly, right? So if that doesn't work, how do we think something else is going to work?
No,
because at the end of it, who's fact checking it? Right? It's people.
Again, why not we automate it?
So give
like,
a bias AI.
No, two-step verification, right? So we have a review board.
I mean, we just saw that they have thousands, if not millions, of personalities. You don't think?
No. Again, if we clamp it to a objective personality.
Okay.
So skeptical one that really wants to fact check across literature.
I just have a problem with thinking that they're still gonna not have some bias.
No, it's not the bias, it's a problem. We are trying to push the bias towards skepticism. So okay, this is not proven yet.
Yeah.
I'm not saying true or false.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that this is a fake information. I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah.
Flagging it of whether it's been verified. That's it. So let's say a news outlet says this person says this. Okay, sure, check it. The person did say this. However, is it out of context? You know what I mean? Context not fully provided. Just flag that. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say if something's true or false. I'm trying to give people the awareness.
But what about
like full context of anything?
What about when there are AI generated videos of people doing things that they never did?
Flag it. AI content.
Yeah, but like you said, someone. So you would have to be able to see that it was AI generated.
So here's the best part. AI is super good at looking for AI content. Because AI content always has some structure. It's like, for example, any pseudo-random code, you can eventually find a pattern. So eventually, the keyword is eventually. If you suddenly switch a pseudo-code algorithm, pseudo-generator algorithm, they'll probably won't be able to find it. But given enough computation and time, you can figure it out. And here's the best part. It's been proven time and time again. It's always easier to recognize and verify than to create. So it's always taking more compute to generate a content than for a model to verify a content. It's just math and computation. Even in complexity theory,
say that again?
It's always easier to recognize and verify than to generate.
I see, yeah. Makes sense.
Even for humans, it's easier to just see that answer is a bit off, right? But sometimes you need to look into detail. But even in computation complexity theory, have you look into that, right? That's P space and all that.
Yeah.
NP, even the NP hard problems, right? It's always easier to verify than to solve, right? Than to generate or solve. So there's always a advantage to trying to find out if something if a content's fake or real. Assuming you already have a ground truth or oracle, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
So what we need is a complete data set of what is true and a almost equal sized data set of what is considered false. False examples. Then you can have an AI track what's ground truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And flag it. Again, we're not trying to prevent people from saying things. We just want people to make sure you got the context of everything. Because that's, again, language entropy. Everything I say has a limit to how much I want to express. Let's say a news probably is trying to... I'm not saying all news reporters are fake. I'm just trying to say that even news reporters have language limits. They could express only so much or grasp only so much about what the true intention of that event is.
Yeah, and biases depending on the company that they're working for,
or their personal biases, or the bias of the person that's saying that, right? So again, context is the problem. Oh shit, we should publish a paper. Context is all you need. Right? Just like attention is all you need. So again, if AI has context issues, how about humans? Context issues.
Yeah.
So if let's say I say this right now, okay, but don't quote me on this. Creating wind farms costs $17 trillion if we want to power the whole country with wind power, right? Sounds expensive, but have you looked into that? If you're just gonna be like, oh, Albert said that, you're quoting from authority. Well, I'll be flattered if you think I'm authority, but you'll be quoting from someone you didn't fact check. Again, I like the Royal Society's motto, which is trust no one. Or what was it? Hear no one. What was it?
It's I think it's along those lines. It's essentially like, don't take anybody's word for it.
Yeah.
Seek the truth out for yourself, essentially.
Oh yeah, no one's words. Take nobody's word for it. Yeah. So, never take anyone's word for. Always fact check. I know it takes effort, but that's how good things are made. It's effort.
Yeah, I don't know where I get this from or what, but anytime somebody says something, I don't, not every time, but a lot of times I have like a knee-jerk reaction. I'm like, is that true? Like, are you sure? Like,
even when I say something, I usually want people to fact check me. I think that's a safe way. It corrects me, it corrects them. We both get the truth.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Well, and then this is sort of the hard problem in believing people nowadays too, is because we hear so much about people just taking people's word for it, right?
Second-hand information, third-hand information.
Yeah.
Many hands.
Yeah, and people just, I don't know. That's why I love what we do, right?
Science.
Research, right? Research and science. You have to search for the truth, right? In order to try to even sort of grasp what we're trying to do here, right? What is the goal of all of this? And maybe what's the goal of your very niche project, right?
I don't mind people doubting the cutting edge. For example,
it's a lot about hype and getting dollars to be able to pay for it.
And doubting that is fine, but I want people to doubt everything.
But the thing about new things, right? New science, those things have to get paid for. Because if not, then how do we move forward? How do we make new things?
That's why I say peace is a economic issue. Right, it's a logistic and economic issue. How could you scale truth, right? How could you get more foundational research when people often don't fund that? People often fund translational research, things that can become a product.
That's
things
what I love.
Sell.
That's what, man. I remember going to my girlfriend after using ChatGPT to help me with research for the first time. Like, after the first week, I remember going to her and saying, like, man, it's just so wild how ChatGPT makes me feel like overnight I can become a professional researcher. Because it allows you to not only be able to get the information quickly and learn things quickly, but also, especially someone who does a lot of like computational experiments and things like that, can help you set up experiments really quickly. And it would have taken me months, if not years, to do some of the stuff that I've done if I didn't have ChatGPT's help.
And I think the biggest key is still you being able to know what is true and false.
Yeah.
Because even most companies, AI companies as well, they would say AI can make mistakes. They'll have that on the bottom, right? Mm-hmm. AI can make mistakes. Make sure to fact check them or double check. Yeah. I think what's good about researchers is, yes, we see that as a tool. We see that as, it can boost my productivity, but we don't fully rely on it as the first source of information.
Yeah, and the great thing about the research that I'm doing is you can easily check these things, these experiments, by running simple calculations to make sure that the physics is staying true. Right, so the AI ChatGPT or whoever it is, right, may tell you, yes, this thing is working correctly, but I'm like, okay, well, we need to do these calculations to really make sure that they are, so that they're sticking to physics. And sometimes I've even done this, and they've been like, I'm like, okay, well, we got these at this calculation, so this proves that the physics is not actually working. So your initial statement of saying that the physics was correct and we can move on is actually wrong. And so, I was even talking to Dr. Taylor the other day, just like making sure that we are checking these things and making sure that they're correct. And what I like I said about my type of research is you can easily check it with just calculations. Now, I'm sure, I don't know, I'm sure people get into the weeds where there's no way of checking it unless you come up with a new type of way, and that's maybe where the issues sort of lie, right? It's
turtles all the way down, man. It's turtles all the way down. If we
turtles.
Science, the thing about science is AI definitely changed it a lot. Machine learning models, deep learning models, AI in general help us to do iterative improvements faster.
Yeah.
It has also allowed us to code faster, search things faster. A lot of people say that ChatGPT is just a glorified search engine. It's true. It's just spewing out information that it learned itself from the internet. So it's just a search engine. It's just true or false. Whether true or false is still up to you to fact check. So I think that in this age of AI, in the age of automation, we need to be aware that just as much as they can boost productivity, if we don't know how to align ourselves, at least epistemically, right, it can also be counterproductive.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it'll magnify misinformation.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, especially in the sense of deep fakes and things like that.
I really think AI slop should be flagged.
I mean, I'm sure there's things that are flagged.
I'm
right?
glad, actually. A lot of
and I bet
YouTube
people still believe them, right? I'm sure there's still flat Earth, right? Like
Yeah.
I bet if you post something about flat Earth on X, maybe it gets flagged, right?
Yeah.
But there's still people out there that believe in flat Earth. So.
Again, it's to minimize though, but because human lives in a bell curve.
You can't get it all. Yeah, you can't get rid of it all. But to me, that's also what makes it
Life,
beautiful.
life is the beauty of life. The beauty of the Gaussian distribution is that there's always those
outliers.
outliers.
Yeah, so this is like one thing I've been thinking a lot about lately is, well, is our understanding not limited by our intelligence?
It is.
But is it really limited by our experimentation?
It's both. Why not both?
Well, yeah, but is it one more than the other?
Again, I think it's just like how when you say AI, how can you make AI smarter? The amount of compute, quality of compute, the amount of compute.
Quality of data.
So you say the amount of data, the quality data, and then compute, and then architecture optimization, and then model optimization. You see what I mean? So it's like these things all scale AI.
Yeah.
So the same thing with humans, right? Our brains are hardwired. Jan LeCun, French-American scientist. Right,
man.
He startup.
I'm pulling this up because he has this new startup and
build world models.
Yeah, but his
isn't Fei Li doing the same thing?
The logo is by far the most beautiful logo I've ever seen in my life. Where is the logo?
No. Just go to images. It's usually there.
Oh, okay.
Images. Startup logo.
Yeah. Look at that. Is that not beautiful?
AMI.
Why is this not put?
It is AMI.
Yeah, so it's advanced machine intelligence, right? But it looks like just an M, but it's got AI and then an M. And then the background. I love this
space nebula.
I think it's the best AI logo out right now.
I have to agree.
Do you have a favorite AI logo? Because I know people talk about like claw, like all of them look like buttholes.
No, I can't unsee that. I
Think
cannot
about
unsee
Claude's,
that now.
right? Let's look at Claude's logo, right?
No, it's right there. Claude's right there on the third tab.
yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
And then
I cannot unsee
ChatGPT's,
that.
right? ChatGPT's.
Oh no!
Yeah. And then you have this beautiful
Masterpiece.
Yeah.
I'm curious what World Labs look like. Wait, can you pull up World Labs?
World Lab, yeah.
The one Fei Fei Li is doing. That's okay. Logo. Oh,
Okay. Oh yeah, I've seen this. Yeah.
it's a W. World Labs makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
With the
Type
little,
shit.
maybe like an L. Yeah.
Have you looked into a company called
Very but see, I don't like these extremely
Minimalistic.
simplified. Yeah. Okay. I kinda
How
like
about
this.
conversion?
What is this? I don't like that.
How about Convergent Research?
Conversion research. Because
Logo.
I really think logos from back in the day were so much better than they are now.
Because they're not minimalistic. They're
Yeah.
not trying to be. Even
Yeah,
the
see,
UIs
this
even the UI back in the day is more user friendly. Like you can navigate it easily.
Yeah. Oh, here I have to show you a logo that I made for our senior design project.
Oh my god, the butthole part is crazy.
Yeah.
I can't unsee that now. Oh my
yeah, dude. Somebody said that. It was Elon Musk that said that the other day. I was dead, dude. Yeah, check this out, dog.
I'm not gonna say Grok's any better.
No, but Elon is hilarious. Yeah, so here, check out our senior design logo.
That's dope.
Well,
Oh no, you just chose the different one.
okay, yeah. So here's this. This is the one I like the most.
What's measurement?
Measurement?
Measurement.
Oh no.
Typos. AIs love typos in image generation.
Oh no. I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay.
To be fair, it's not. Yeah.
Oh, oh no.
Measurement.
Oh no. And then restivity.
Yeah. Restivity. Resivity.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
making these like late at night too,
Okay,
so
yeah.
that's why I was like okay with it. Oh,
You probably
man.
gotta edit that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well that's good to know. I
Yeah.
gotta remember to go. Anyways, but yeah,
That's
so
cool though. That's dope.
yeah, because so Abby, she's the one who sort of gets everything prepared for the senior design pamphlets that are made whenever we do our presentations and are handed out. And she was like, "If you have a logo, share with me the logo." And I was like, "Okay, let's go," because I love making logos with AI because. Yeah, I just think it's a fun way to be a little creative, right? Without having to work too hard with it, right? And it sort of like helps you stand out a bit, right? Like I've been the only one who like generates logos for their projects with AI, and I'm just like, dude, it's so easy to do. Why are you not doing it? And it's so fun and cool, and like I said, a way to be creative. Like at the end of the day, we're engineers, and what are engineers? We're part artists.
Yeah, we're trying to. Yeah, our creation is the art, right?
Yeah. So we should also find other ways to be creative because I think that sort of sparks more creativity.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like creating logo, and with ChatGPT, it makes it so easy to do nowadays.
I'm just curious though, why hasn't anyone done sort of like a hybrid AI generation? So instead of just completely generating the image from scratch, you let it generate a template, right? And then you give it access to a editing tool like
Oh, I'm sure they
Adobe
have.
or
I
like
bet
or like
Canva has.
Canva. Oh, probably Canva does have that probably, where
Actually-
it can edit and type in itself. So you see that problem is
No,
because of the
I'm-
pure generation
I'm
problem.
pretty sure. Like I remember
They can type
when
it
it's
in
when it's
themselves.
generating this, it actually uses a tool.
No. What I mean is, they don't, because the tool is the image generator. What I'm saying is, instead of everything is the image generator, let's say we let the some parts be fully generated. Some parts is the AI accessing a separate tool to type in.
Oh,
And then-
yeah.
And then, for example, once they type in, they can choose the font or
Yes.
use their AI magic somehow change the font color.
yeah, sort of a check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of like paint the color over it. You know, you let them have access to Microsoft Paint or something.
Yeah, and it's like I wonder
Oh,
how hard
that'd
that
be
would
crazy,
be
yeah.
to only because really you'd only want to do that with fonts, right? So it's like how hard could that be to just say if
Has-
you're typing, if you have a word in the image, use this tool to create the word.
Oh, wait, has anyone tried this?
I don't
Where they let the visual models see what's on the screen. You let it have access to Microsoft Paint
Yeah, I don't know.
and then let it draw.
Well, I know that like
That'd be cool, right?
I know that
Because that's not the same as diffusion generation.
I know that people have used agents to
draw
do
stuff?
like CAD.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Let's see here. Claude, Bot, and CAD.
Open Claw. What are you talking about? Claude CAD.
Claude CAD. What? What? And is the Claude bot doing this whole thing by itself? An open CAD editor with Claude integrated? What? I was tired of juggling OpenCAD in a terminal and the browser tab for Claude when designing parts, so I smashed them all in one Electron app. Code editor, 3D, AI chat, and blah, blah, blah. The cool part, Claude can actually see your model. It was MCP tools to compile your screenshots, the viewport, and... This is, but is it actually...
I don't think it's not actually editing. It's just
Because for
it's-
this one, it
just-
looks like it's editing through code.
Yeah,
This-
it just looks easier to access
Yeah.
that. But I don't know if they made a.
Okay, let me maybe look OpenClaw instead, because I could have swore. Because I thought this was the craziest
So
thing
they
ever.
integrate. CAD agents. What?
Thoughts on OpenClaw, Grasshopper, and cat agents like Raven. Is there any like video?
Oh, my hair keeps piercing my eyes.
OpenClaw.
I need to start cutting my hair.
Yeah, I hate when my hair starts getting in my eyes.
Oh my god, it feels like
worst.
shit. My eyes are very irritated right now.
Man, I saw this the other day. Maybe. Oh, what? OpenClaw and That doesn't make any sense. It's simple. How OpenClaw works.
It's okay. We'll look for it someday.
Maybe SolidWorks. Maybe try SolidWorks.
Solid words.
AI in SolidWorks?
Have you tried the new AI tool in SolidWorks 2025?
No.
It automates one of the most repetitive tasks in assemblies, adding fasteners. But
That's not what I was asking for.
Well, automation's automation.
Okay, well, yeah, I could have swore somebody was using their OpenClaw and telling it what to do and how to build it. Which is, leads me into what I've been having my OpenClaw do, right? Which is, this morning I finally decided, okay, how can we get you to, so I got to the point where, okay, so I had a CPU version of the Monte Carlo simulations, right? And I was like, okay, let's try speeding this up by putting the whole simulation on a GPU, and and let's use the CUDA language, which is the basically a C or C++ based language that is essentially for building on the architecture of a GPU. And so it kind of just got after it, but I would have to I would check its work. It would tell me, hey, this simulation just ran. This is the physics. These are the calculations that I ran to make sure that the physics is working. And the physics was there, but there was there was a parameter that we were checking for called the chi. I forget exactly what this is, but it has to do with it's around the same value for the critical temperature. And this chi and this critical temperature, they really need to be the same value, but they were off by a little bit. And so finally I was just like reiterating. I was like, it would come back to me and say, we got a little bit closer this time. What was happening is we were like opening up the window that essentially you're looking at these values. So to lower the computation, you can just look in a window where you know the critical temperature is supposed to be, and you should get a pretty good approximation. But sometimes you have to widen that window to be able to see clearly that the physics is there, right? And so that's what it kept having to do, is sort of widen that window.
Iterative improvement.
Yeah. And so finally, we got that check to pass. So critical temperature and this chi parameter both passed. The physics is 100% correct. So I'm like, okay, well, is this as fast as we can get it? And no. So I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of tired of, having you come back and me telling you to keep going. So I was like, I want to give you permission to keep reiterating without having to give me the question of, can I keep doing this? And so that's what I was doing this morning, was like trying to figure out a way that we could do this.
Fully automated.
Yeah, exactly. Dope. Because apparently that's what Andre Karpathy did with a nano LLM, was able to do this reiteration, but it's able to do it on its own somehow. I've been meaning to look into it.
I'm just curious, when they say nano LLM, what do they mean by that?
I think it's
like, how small do they mean by nano?
Oh,
LLM?
It can fit on a single GPU. Yeah, it can fit on a single GPU.
So models now but there's a lot of models that can fit in a single GPU now.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know exactly the specific size of GPU you would need in order to run this Andre Karpathy nano
LLM. Okay. Nano LLM is a GitHub optimized multimodal pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a visual language model. No, it includes visual language models, vector databases, speech services that can be integrated into interactive agents. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's a pipeline.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. It's the way that I understand it. Yes. And so, and I don't know exactly how the Andre Karpathy one works, but I'm pretty sure like you can. I think this is a way to make like models that are specifically good at certain tasks. And I don't know how you're prompting it. I don't know how you get this to work, but I think that's what essentially you're trying to do, is you're trying, because now the move is for models that are more specific to a task, right? Because
also, I just want to point out something. Hugging Face, this name.
Yeah.
It does not rub me in a good way.
No, a Hugging Face.
Yeah, Hugging Face. Because every time I hear Hugging Face, the first thing I think about is the face huggers from like Alien vs Predator.
Yeah, I think it means like it's kind of like hugging emoji, right? Because it's like a.
I know, but like it's just the picture I get. It's not that.
Yeah.
Like every time I see that word, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, from like yeah, what did you say that was from?
Alien.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Face huggers.
Yeah. Did you ever watch that show?
Which one?
Alien?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So
xenomorphs.
yeah. Okay, so
Yeah, these fucking things.
so I'm hoping yeah, because they're essentially the thing that give birth to the
Aliens.
actual alien, right?
They're part of the life cycle. They get into and then they explode.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking nasty, dude.
Yeah. So I'm really hoping that I got to the point where I no longer have to be in the loop in order for it to keep reiterating. And so what I was kind of doing is doing a little research this morning to see, like, okay, have people actually done this before? Because I'm really interested in this area of speeding simulations up. You know, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just not a patient person. So I'm just like, come on, like, let's get it done. How can we get it done faster, right? That's why I like this idea of alternative computing methods to make computation faster, right?
Yeah.
That's what I like, the idea of the thermodynamic computing, right? Because you're supposed to be able to run these type of simulations that I'm running a lot faster on them.
Any statistical stochastic models can be run faster with thermo.
Yeah.
Again, I think what people are, every time they think about something compute,
Yeah.
they often think like, oh, are we just gonna get a better computer? No. They are niche components. The quantum computers are not like a super powered PC.
Yeah.
It's like a GPU.
Yeah.
It's used for niche products. GPU used to only be for graphics. People start using it for LLMs because the math is similar.
Mm-hmm.
The keyword is the math is similar. The compute is similar. But now they made TPUs and neuromorphic compute, which is more analogous to map the same problems to LLMs. So the same with thermodynamic compute. I just want to point out is that they don't somehow use thermodynamics to make your compute better. In general, they make it better for statistical computation because thermodynamics is statistical. So
Yeah.
anyways, that's just my rant because a lot of people misunderstand that.
It's essentially to do sort of, for one, interesting engineering problem simulations, and just simulations in general. And yeah, I don't even know if like the why do I keep
thermodynamic.
why do I keep thinking? Anyways, thermodynamic chips. I wonder if they're even thinking about trying to run LLMs on them. I don't know. I don't even know if you could.
I don't know because I can't see how we can map that.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
How can you map that?
I don't know. I do know that like there's I think I talked to you about this before. So in that Inquire lab, how they're have a partnership with some India team that has a sort of GPU like hardware, but that uses molecules to like map memory. So because you can sort of modify molecules in so many different ways, and they can sort of, you can sort of remember these certain orientations. That's like having a memory, right? Like,
Memristors? Sort of like memristors?
I guess I'm not too familiar with memristors.
We gotta look it up.
Yeah, let's look it up.
The beauty of research is to learn on the fly.
Well.
Now, oh no, you can just look at a diagram. It's more intuitive.
Oh, okay. Well, sometimes I just like asking.
Just search up fuck Frugivore. We can memristors. So they are. You see, this chart is very helpful. So you click into it real quick.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's tiny. Click into it again.
Let's see here.
Open image in a new tab.
Where does that? Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it should be. Can you zoom in? Oh, perfect.
There we go.
Is it not gonna clear up? I guess not. Fuck. So here's the interesting thing about electrical science. We usually think about voltage, charge, current. We really rarely hear about flux.
Yeah.
Flux is the change in
charge.
Yeah, in the charge. So, well, no, change in
change
field.
Change in the field is flux. Change in charge is technically current.
Yeah, that's right.
So, so when you combine them, they have this unique emergent behavior. So if you build up voltage using charge, you have a capacitor. If you relate voltage to current, there's resistivity, and then inductors use change in fields by using current, and then memristors is the newest boy in the neighborhood, at least the most novel one.
Yeah.
And basically, they're able to use fields to trap information about the charge, sort of like spintronics type thing.
Yeah.
So they're able to store resistivity. So let's say you've passed a current through this specific memristor. This memristor, and here's the beauty of all this: they're all passive parts. They're not active parts, so they don't need power to run. That's probably gonna cause a misconceptions. They don't need a power. Active components like transistors, you need power to feed it, to keep it on before you can do something with it. Resistors, capacitors, inductors, and memristors still need power to do what they do, but they don't need outside power, external source to let them operate in the first place.
Yeah.
So when you stop a current, they're still there. It's not that they forget its information.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of memristors. Is the hope is if you combine memristors and other passive components in a clever way, you can do in-memory compute. So you can compute and store the memory in the same spot. That's the hope, because von Neumann architecture stores memory separately.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is quite a bit different than what. Let's see here. So, India company that uses molecules for data storage or GPU.
I think the most promising one is the glass one.
Hardware. What's that? Memrisors? Memrisors?
Biocomputing?
Prominent in it, sort of uses bacterial DNA as a medium for storing data.
Is this what you're talking about?
I don't know. I can't remember the name of the lab. It looks like a bunch of them are kind of doing something like that.
Well, there's always competition. That's how you know it's a healthy economy.
Yay.
At least it's improving.
Come on.
This Indian startup is turning bacterial DNA into data crunching machines. Sounds crazy, right? But here's why it matters. Traditional AI chips consume a lot of energy and generate heat, which isn't great for the environment. And that's where biocompute comes in. They're using biology to build biocomputers that can process data faster, run cooler, and use way less energy. They're currently using CRISPR-based DNA editing to figure out if this could actually be done, and if they're successful, their tech will mimic how neurons in our brains work. Their groundbreaking idea has already won India's largest climate startup grant and got them backing from Nikhil Kamat's WTF fund. With this support, Biocompute is on a mission to transform how we power AI. But do you think that Biocompute's tech will revolutionize?
No, this isn't. There's some kind of molecule that they're herbal memory. Let's see here.
Also, I found an interesting thing. You know, Xtropic.
Yeah.
They are trying to use stochastic analog circuits, aka thermodynamic computing, to like LC resonators. Beth Jesus. As thermodynamic neurons.
Okay.
How they go about that, I'm not well read enough to talk about it. This is just a brief overview that what I found.
Apparently, they had a hackathon not too long ago for their new chips.
Because they said using Brownian motion or noise to drive calculations instead. That sounds like electron transport chain in biology. That's why you need to learn multiple different fields, bro. They bring so much inspiration. Can you search up electron transport chain? In biology, we use noise to our advantage.
Why does it go straight to?
It's fucking dope. So, if you look at this image.
Images or?
Yeah, image would be better.
This one?
So, in cellular respiration, this is in the mitochondria, they use excess electrons that would have otherwise been thrown away, right? So, but like in glycolysis, where they break down glucose into pyruvate and then pyruvate oxidation, these two processes only create up to 4 ATP. ATP is the currency our body uses for energy, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the best part. In those 4 processes, they release a lot of NADH.
Okay.
NADH and FADH. They are just basically electron acceptors. So they have these excess electrons. In most cases in nature, they just throw it away, at least back in the day, early in evolution. This little bacteria that eventually became our mitochondria found a smart way to use this NADH in the electron transport chain. What they found is if you use those high energy electrons and you bit by bit, each time they go through each complex 1 to 4, it decreases its energy by a little bit. That slight amount of energy decrease pumps hydrogen ions out of the membrane into membrane space, right? So 4, 4, and 2, and then all those hydrogen high concentration will want to move away because entropy, right? And also charge. They have the same charge. They want to move away from each other. They go through ATP synthase. For every 3 hydrogen ions that go through ATP synthase, approximately, you create 1 ATP. So if you take into the electron transport chain, if you take it into consideration, it can generate up to 38 ATP from 2 to 4 to 38.
What? That's exponential. That's
Yeah, super exponential. Here's the best part. This is so efficient. Every majority of the tree of life uses this process to generate energy. The ones that don't is bacteria. Bacteria just continue using other methods to generate ATP. So 2 and 4 ATP is good enough for life to go on. But this guy found a breakthrough.
Yeah.
That's how we became as complex as we are today, because we have the energy to be this complex, because it requires energy to maintain.
Why do you think that would have happened?
It's called endosymbiosis.
Yeah.
So basically, by chance, because it happens all the time. Bacteria eating each other happens all the time, right? But when it engulfs another bacteria, what happens? It digests it. So probably one of them has some digestion issues, or maybe one of the bacteria became parasitic, and it's like it found a way to prevent digestion from happening to it. And instead of killing its host or the host killing it, it's like, hey, I found some NADH lying around. You probably don't want that, right? Let me use it. Start generating extra energy, and then the bigger bacteria is like, it's a win-win. And they continue living on.
Interesting. So let me ask you this: do you believe in evolution?
Yeah. Evolutionary biology.
I'm not saying I don't. I just think it's an interesting question.
Because Darwinian evolution is very controversial, because just like why climate change is such a controversial topic is because it spans such a large time scale that humans have trouble comprehending. When I ask you to imagine 1 million years, you can't. You literally physically can't. Humans can't imagine anything more than 8 objects in their brain at the same time, plus or minus. Okay, plus or minus 4. 7 plus or minus 4. So that's the working memory. That's why when you imagine, when you look at dice, right? When there's 8 dots, you don't see it as 8 dots. You see it as 2 pairs of 4s. That's how you count. You don't immediately see that. You immediately know it's 8. Well, some people can. That's because our working memory. And to optimize that, we chunk. Is an abstraction. It's called chunking. We chunk those 4 dots into 2 separate components. Now we have 2 of 4. That's multiplication. That's how we develop multiplication. Now, we have a limit. We cannot comprehend such a long time scale. The changes are so minute that we think evolution cannot happen. The same reason why we think climate change is not happening, because it's so imperceptibly small changes over decades. But now we have records that show that it does. But most people can't comprehend that. They are like, the data must be flawed. To some extent, maybe. But it's been proven in lab setting and in wild settings. We have observed independently that animals did show adoptions of new traits. Just picture this for a second. If you have two bacteria in one situation, right? This bacteria learn to use sunlight. This bacteria can't, right? Which one would grow faster? Because this one has more energy now, right? So it grows faster. Now it steals resources better. What will happen? It can outcompete the other one. Or let's say a grasshopper. A grasshopper is on a leaf, right? I don't know why a grasshopper would be on any leaf, but like it's just on a random leaf.
Because he's hungry, maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's just hungry. Now, the grasshopper is initially yellow. Let's just assume it's somehow yellow. It gave offspring that some of them is slightly green, some of slightly brown because of mutations. Now, the brown ones just happen to be on a branch. Now you have a lizard or a bird fly by, okay? It ate away a lot of those grasshoppers. The leftover ones will probably match the background, right? The ones that stand out will die. So whatever trait you get that is disadvantageous, you will just die. It just makes sense. Whatever is advantageous, you will survive longer. You have time to breed. You have chances to breed. So when you see a grasshopper or a stick bug, it looks like the tree. You're like, oh my God, nature's amazing. Someone designed it to look like the tree. No. It's because its ancestors survived long enough to keep giving birth to more and more child that looks more and more like the tree, because that way it has a higher chance to live. Because the ones that don't survive, right, are dead. Because the ones that don't look like the tree, they stand out. What happens when they stand out? Predators eat them.
Do you think that... So... Okay.
And these models not only explain it, we also have evidence in bacteria models, yeast models, animal models. We even have genetic proof that genetic commonalities between specific trees of life.
Yeah.
That's how we develop a tree of life. Again, evolutionary model is a model. Yeah. It's the best model. We have to explain evolution. We're not trying to say it's the one and all answer.
Yeah.
And there's also mutation biases. Mutation biases as in we found that some parts of the DNA mutate more often than others. It makes sense, because if there are some parts that we just let mutate anytime, you get cancer everywhere. But there are some other areas that doesn't need to be protected as much. Yeah. They can mutate, and all that create is phenotypes. It's slightly different traits. You see what I mean? So more important traits, it's better to have more. Yeah. So that's why we have a lot of oncogenes. Oncogenes are genes that is to prevent cancer. Once these genes are gone, what happens? You get cancer. So it just makes sense to have more of these copies. So that, and these areas of the DNA is less likely to mutate. It just makes sense, evolutionary speaking. It just makes sense to protect these areas. So
yeah, so it's just kind of we think of me anyways, I always think of things as like whole objects, like the person, okay, well, we evolved over so long, right? But actually it's not just the whole structure. It's like every little thing had to evolve in some way, right down to the it almost feels like the atoms themselves had to evolve.
What do you mean by atoms themselves has to evolve?
I don't know.
So, okay, I think what you're trying to say is similar to what Carl Sagan says, to make I forgot exactly what he says. How do you make an apple pie? People say to make an apple pie, you need to grow apples. But how do you make an apple pie? You need to know how to create the universe first, right? So it goes all the way back. It turtles all the way down. Now, we have no idea where the standard model itself came from. Okay, we have no idea to explain how the particles came from. But everything after that, we have explanations of them. How simple atoms can create complex chemistry. How complex chemistry can create biomolecules, even naturally. and then how biomolecules can create life. While that step is a bit mystery, we still have no idea how pure biomolecules create life. We have good models to suggest, but we don't have absolute answers on how no life became life. We still don't have answers for that yet. But after that, so there's still gaps in the models, and that's okay. That's science. But now there is ever since the first cell or Luca, based on evidence, we may have a common ancestor of everything in the tree of life. The first common ancestor. That's why it's called Luca, right? Last universal common ancestor, Luca. So ever since Luca, the Darwinian evolution model fits. That's all that scientists are saying. It's not saying that is the answer, period. That's the best answer we have right now. If you want to think that the world is either designed or the world's conscious, it's a plausible idea. No one says it's not. But based on evidence that we have found, it's more likely that it is. That's why statistics, in research, we always talk about statistical significance, right? How much does your model cover? And how much evidence does your model have to suggest the confidence level?
That's what's kind of, man, just to me, almost not worries me is the wrong way to say it. It's, I don't know, I want to have hope that we can one day simulate the whole universe, right?
But why would you want to do that?
To better understand it. But at the same time, if you can simulate the universe, do you not fully understand it?
I mean, to be fair, we can simulate the mind like AI. Simulate the mind, simulate close enough, but we don't understand it.
But, you know, like, I would just love to be able to have a better model of
the world,
magnetism,
of everything,
maybe, right? Yeah, and to be able to simulate that in a decent amount of time.
That's why I hope for AI.
Yeah.
That's why I hope for AI, is that I want AI to help us solve problems. I want AI to help us create better world models, not create AI slop.
Yeah, but the AI slop's kind of fun.
It's fun, as long as people don't pose it as real.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem, is when people pose something.
You remember the video of Will Smith eating spaghetti? The first, like...
Oh, yeah. No, the face is distorting. Yeah, it's fucking...
Dude, let's pull it up. It's so funny.
Oh, you should watch this video.
Okay. Well, let's
after the Will Smith video.
So because somebody made a new one.
Yeah, 2023 versus... this is the original.
Spaghetti is the official benchmark of AI. 2023, AI couldn't even get hands right. 2024, faces improved, movement smoother.
I don't know why this is like the benchmark, but it's so hilarious.
5, almost real, but still uncanny.
2025 is pretty crazy.
Yes.
So have you heard of Kling 3.0?
I heard it can create multiple scene cuts like this with a single prompt. When it cut to...
I don't like it whenever it gets that close to the mouth, but...
Yep. But did you know that all this audio was also generated with the same prompt?
I guess I didn't, sir.
Study harder, kid. Eat your spaghetti.
That's insane.
Right? What are they, 2023 to 2026?
That's why I say in AI space, a year ago is probably a very old paper.
And we were like, in 2023, we were like, oh my God, we are so far away.
I kind of want spaghetti now.
Decades away from, right? I love pasta.
Pasta, you can never go wrong with pasta.
Oh my gosh. You have a good pasta place you like to go to?
No.
Dude, Papadillo's I can give you the address.
Later.
It's not too far from here.
We're not sponsored. I mean, if they want to.
Oh man, I would love to be sponsored by Papadillo's. That would be awesome.
Oh, so can you search up one video?
Yeah.
It's because you know. Okay. Oh wait. No. Wait. Before we go there, I want you to go up. You remember the ATP synthase?
Yeah.
Search ATP synthase.
How do you spell synthase?
Yes. Oh my God, perfect. ATP though, not APT.
Oh.
Okay.
How do I get syntax right but not everything?
It's okay. Go images.
That's hilarious.
Go images.
Here, let me click on this just to make sure images are good.
And no, actually ATP synthase GIF. GIF.
Okay.
GIF.
I say GIF.
Fuck. Okay, now look at any of them.
This one looks more realistic, so let's do that one. Let's see.
What do you notice?
There's like like boomerangs jumping out of it. It looks like.
It
looks like a little motor.
So those boomerangs are ATP, but it is a mini motor.
Yeah.
It's in your cells.
Well, aren't people building these like molecular motors?
Now you go to another tab real quick. Search flagella.
You know what I've thought about doing is doing a compilation video of like all of the tabs we've opened up.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Go look for bacterial flagella.
Bacteria flagella.
Close enough.
Flagella. What's there?
Images.
I'm a good speller dog.
Good speller. Right? Yeah, close enough. Like, and then now GIF.
Okay.
Yeah, because I need you to see it moving. This is a bacterial flagellum. Okay. I don't know if this is a good one, but let's see. Let's see if it's a good one. This is a bacterial flagellum, right? Once it's assembled.
What?
Okay. Once it's.
What the hell is going on?
You'll see. It's absorbing a protein, but
Is this real? Is this like a?
No, this is an animated model of what we found.
But I'm saying this is actually happening in our bodies.
Yes. But it's just a model of it, but yes.
So alien.
Okay, no, change a different one. Change to a different one. This is
so alien.
It is alien, but go scroll down. That one.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This is a model. So it shows how messy the cell is, but you see how it's rotating?
Yeah.
It's a microscopic motor the size of a bacteria. And that's how bacteria moves. Have you seen its tail? Its little tail thing that allows it to propel? That's the flagellum. Now go to YouTube.
That is, yeah. I've seen videos like this, but like, you know.
No, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube.
All right.
Trust me, I'll boggle your noodles more. Yeah. Now, go search.
Spaghetti?
Boggle your spaghetti? Yeah, okay. So, what's it called?
Search. Come on, you act like you're ready.
State it clearly.
Okay.
So they have a series. Just click into it. It's good for if you want to. So State It Clearly has a series. Yeah, it has a series on.
The purpose of this series is to explore how the bacterial flagellum evolved and to answer the questions put forth by Destin from Smarter Every Day about the process of evolution. How does evolution build supposedly irreducibly complex structures, sophisticated molecular machines like the bacterial flagellum?
Oh my, that's an amazing video.
Structures that bacteria use to swim.
Bacteria.
And when we're zoomed
this is the real one.
These flagella are not super impressive to look at, but zoomed in under an electron microscope, we start to see how beautiful this structure is. Here is a close-up of the base of a flagellum. Whoa. And here we are looking at a highly accurate computer model.
How are we not designed?
How the flagellum works. It is
because we don't know how to design it. Okay.
So
how is that not engineering work right there?
Protein. The structure is so spectacular that
an engineer built that.
People claiming there that it was invented by aliens.
Yeah.
This, of course, is not in line with our best scientific understanding, but
aliens, dog. I don't care what this guy says.
That's my headcanon.
Recently, fellow YouTuber Destin from Smarter Every Day, he put out a request for someone who understands biology to explain to him.
So you can pause this now.
Okay.
I recommend you to give it a watch.
I want to get mic stands like this.
The professional stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you can go back for a second.
This thing's not in your way, right?
Yeah.
Right now, this thing's in your way, which I don't like.
It's a directional mic, though. So here's the interesting thing. So this is a series.
Well, you can still have it to where it clips.
Yeah. So it has 3 episodes so far.
It would still be on the bottom. Sorry, I've been thinking about this fucking mic thing for a while now.
Yeah, you just put it to the side. But basically, if you this is a 3-part series so far.
Okay.
He's making more.
Yeah.
But people say, how did something so complex evolve from just pure evolution?
Alien
it clearly looks like aliens created or God created them, right?
Yeah.
So now the real question is,
Let there be light.
yeah, let there be light, right? Or people ask, like, if you lose a single
Let there be engineered humans.
yes.
Yeah.
So if you lose one protein, the whole flagellum stops working, right? So how can something evolve that? But here's the best part.
I mean, I could see.
No, I know, but to say the flagellum is evolved to move, right? It's
Flagellum is just a dope name.
It's a fucking dope name.
Flagellum.
Yeah. To say the flagellum is a.
That's my nickname from now on.
Flagellum.
Yeah.
Your little flagellum. You know the sperm? The thing that propels sperm is flagellum. Mr. Flagellum, is that your like club name now?
Okay, I take that back. I take that back. That's so bad. That is so bad. You didn't have to say that part, dog.
It's the truth. I'm sorry, bro. But yeah, so
leave it to Albert to turn something what I thought was cool into something terribly wrong.
bro's club name. If bro walks up to a club, he's like, Mr. Flagellum, welcome in. He cuts all the queue, walks in. People around him be like, who's that guy?
Yeah.
He's Mr. Flagellum.
Yeah. And then you find out what it really
What it
means.
really
Wait,
means.
what? How did you get that name?
So, scientific names have backstories to them.
That's definitely a name, right?
Yeah, Mr. Flagellum is crazy. So, anyways, but yeah, to say a flagellum is evolved to move, only to move a bacteria, it's like saying our tongue is evolved to eat ice cream. It's completely wrong. There's a term in evolutionary biology that people should definitely know of. It's called co-option.
Co-option.
Co-option is not the thing you see in options trading in finance. Co-option is just trying to say that you use one organ or one trait you have for multiple different things. So, for example, what you're doing right now is co-option. Our hands are made for us to climb, grip, and manipulate objects.
Okay.
We invented machines that allow us to type. So we co-option our hands to type.
Yeah, it's now a part of us.
Yes. We did not evolve fingers to type. We evolved fingers to hold stuff and manipulate complex objects. But we co-opted it to type.
Yeah.
For example, another thing you could say, feathers. Bird feathers, or at least ducks, for example, duck feathers, they are to help them be streamlined when they fly, when they swim. But they are also co-opted to be waterproof. You see what I mean? Or, what's another good? The tongue, for example. We co-opted it to speak. It's mainly for us to swallow. It's help us to swallow and manipulate food objects in our mouth. But we co-opted it to help us enunciate. Co-option just means using existing traits for different things for different advantages. Do you see what I'm talking about? So here now, how I relate back to the bacteria is before bacteria have flagellum, right? Simple bacteria don't move. They just sort of glide along with the water, like yeast. Do you know yeast?
Yeah.
They just glide along with the water. Well, they're fungi, but just as an example, they move along with the water. They cannot move themselves. Now, here's the interesting part. What bacteria can also do is form biofilm, because every cell, they have something called intracellular matrices. Do you mind pulling that up?
Yeah, I got you.
This is Biology 101.
Google or what?
Google.
Okay.
Yeah, Google's the best.
Intracellular what?
Intracellular matrices. Oh, matrix. Yeah, that works.
Matrices. Dog. I can spell, dog.
No, I mean, yeah, my bad. Shit. So, anyways, if you look in, this is what inside a cell looks like. Inside a cell, it has a lot of intermediate filaments, microfibers, microtubules.
Which one are you specifically pointing to?
Any of them will work.
Oh.
And then outside the cell.
I hate that this doesn't. This is the
I know.
worst injustice.
So okay, you see, cytoplasm is in the cell.
Yeah.
Outside the cell is called extracellular matrix. So what we're looking at is a complex cell. It's probably the cells that you see in you and me.
Yeah.
The inside the cell, they have those fibers. Outside the cells, they also have fibers. In the case of a bacteria, they have microtubules inside the cell. They use the same protein, the microtubule proteins, well, similar proteins. They shove it outwards instead of inwards. Because those proteins, as you can see, right, the filaments on the red ones, they attach themselves to the cell membrane. The outside ones also attach themselves to the cell membrane, so they act as anchors for structure in the cell. They're scaffolds. That's why they're called a cytoskeleton.
Yeah.
They're helping it be a skeleton, right? Now, here's the interesting part. The cell can produce this not just inwards, they produce this outwards. Now pull up biofilm real quick. Biofilm.
Dude, that is just,
That's why biology and chemistry is amazing. Okay, never shit talk biology and chemistry.
Biofilm.
Yeah, just done. That's it. Oh, you don't need a GIF. Biofilm.
I just thought it would be funny.
So, biofilm is when bacteria starts attaching itself to other bacteria, and the surface is on.
I'm gonna sue somebody one of these days for not fixing this.
Yeah. So what the bacteria can do is it produces those filaments outwards, and other bacteria can attach onto that. They use these anchors to anchor onto surfaces and each other. And that's also why when you look at, when you look at ponds, you know how they have snails and all that. When you pick it up, it's like slimy.
Yeah.
A large chunk of those slime, a large composition of those slime is biofilm. It's bacteria creating a layer attaching itself to each other. Now here's the interesting thing. They figured out that attaching to a surface is useful because let's say there's running water. Running water means nutrients and oxygen. So they attach themselves to the same place instead of flowing with the water. Now, some bacteria, instead of attaching, they start wiggling those flagellum. What they found out is you started moving towards a direction. The ones that move towards a bad direction die. The ones that move towards a good direction survives. Now, more bacteria are now likely to move in the right direction because the bad direction ones died. So the bad trait died. The good traits now survive.
Yeah.
Now, better swimming ones will swim faster. They get more nutrients. The Sooners, right? They get more land. So they will get more nutrients. They survive more. They breed more, and they outcompete with the slower ones. Now they're better at moving. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Step by step, generation by generation, it gets slightly better because the worst ones will die out or be outcompeted.
A lot of death.
A lot of death in evolution.
Yeah.
Grim dark future. Now, here's the crazy part. I did a presentation recently, but you can search it up. Geobacter. This will boggle your mind. Geobacter. I told you about it before.
Almost had it. You said, with these little tails and shit, right?
They don't use it to swim.
Yeah, they use it to
generate electricity.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and then go back to that tab. I'll show you a better image.
Okay.
Geobacter nanowire. Search nanowire. These are all examples. The first image would be best. So these images are from research papers, and here, these are geobacters releasing these filaments to hold itself onto surfaces. Like I said, it's an advantage holding onto surfaces or swim. You can do either one. It's an advantage to you. It's better than just going with the flow.
Yeah.
That's a saying that only dead fish go with the flow.
Yeah.
So now
we could use these things to grab food, or we could swim with them.
Yes, exactly. So we hold onto stuff, or we move with these. Now, bacteria realize the same thing, but this bacteria take it a step further. Their filaments are made of heme, similar
Like
to
hemoglobin?
similar to the hemoglobin in your blood.
Okay.
And heme is a electron acceptor. So what they found is, because they live in iron-rich areas, so they have more heme than protein. At least more heme than normal
So the
protein.
inside of an NPN junction.
Well, it'll get to that. But basically, what they realize is they can use this because they're in abundance of iron. They use heme as their filaments instead of tubulins. Okay, it's their version of the tubulins. Okay, so they use this as scaffolds, and since heme is an electron acceptor, what happens? And they're in an iron-rich environment. They start stealing electrons from the iron minerals. And since each heme wants an electron, it starts passing it down the chain, like an electron transport chain, the one that we learned just now. It brings it all the way to the membrane of the bacteria.
NPN junction. It's literally to help transport electrons. Across the transistor.
So now the bacteria co-optioned the proteins of heme, which it used to hold structure and distribute electrons throughout the cell. It also uses it to hold itself to its environment, like a filament, right? This is co-option. It also co-opted it to create biofilm. And now the third co-option is it uses as a nanowire to steal electrons from the minerals. So they reduce the iron reduction. They reduce the iron and they steal electrons into the cell to run its ATP synthase. Remember that iron transport chain? The hydrogen, they pump hydrogen using the electrons, and creating that hydrogen gradient, that hydrogen will go through the ATP synthase, generating ATP, and bada bing bada boom, you get energy. So the mutation that allows it to do that is by random chance, because any mutation that's bad, it'll die. So we don't talk about them. But the mutation that survives will keep surviving on.
And how is that random chance if it's for a reason? It's like a...
It's not for a reason. It's by condition. So if I put a condition... Do you know evolutionary algorithms? Let's say I train a stickman in a virtual world to walk. Whichever walks the worst, like the distance, right, will die. We'll delete them. Whichever walks the best, we keep those algorithms. What will happen? Only the good algorithms survive. Now the new algorithms, we change every parameter slightly, and then we create a new generation of them. And then whatever walks the best survives. Whatever walks the worst, we'll delete them. What happens? Generation by generation, the algorithm's gonna walk better. This is called genetic algorithm or evolutionary algorithm.
And that's random chance? It can be.
It's chance because
it feel like random chance.
It does exactly. It doesn't feel like random chance because we put a boundary constraint. Anything that we put in the environment for it to survive. In this case, the bacteria, what does it need? Nutrients. It needs as much nutrients to survive. The more nutrients it has, it can survive better and also replicate better, right? So whenever there is no nutrients, it dies. And when one cell's out competing the other, these cells eat all of the nutrients, these cells will die. So any trait that is advantageous will cause it to outcompete another species. So yes, it may feel like, oh, it's designed. It's not. What I mean by random, it's technically pseudo-random. But so what I mean random is the changes in parameter that I just talked about in the algorithm is random. So the DNA, the traits change is random. But the generational purge,
we can't. The boundary conditions
is the same. So situation's the same. The resources in that situation is the same. So in the ocean, you need to swim because you're in water. Or you attach yourself to a surface because since the water's flowing, what happens? Nutrients flow to you, right?
But I'm still trying. I'm still trying to figure out how this is not, or how this is random. Because okay, so you're not saying that it's the boundary conditions that are random.
No, boundary conditions is the same, right? As in a climate, in the deep underground. These are found in deep underground.
You're saying that the chance for them to survive is random?
No, the mutation is random.
The mutation, but how is that whenever it's dependent on the survival?
Because if you don't survive, you don't replicate, right?
Yes. And so...
And the ones that survive will replicate more, right?
Yes. Yeah, so...
And then the trait that helps it survive better will replicate more, right?
So, but... My thing is, if it's random, you wouldn't be able to simulate it, right? But it seems like if you have the right boundary conditions, you would...
So by boundary condition, it's just any environment.
Yeah.
Any environment.
Uh-huh.
So let's say we put the boundary condition is... Okay, let me give you an example.
Uh-huh.
Let's say I grow a plant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they actually do this in real life, actually. Coral. They did coral.
Mm-hmm.
Coral at a certain temperature will go through a stressed behavior called bleaching. They'll die, right? So what they do is they put a lot of corals, right? And they slowly bump up the temperature. And whichever one, because it's random, right? A lot of them go through mutations. Later, I'll show you why mutations happen. Because when DNA copies, right, when you replicate, that's always an error. Because a cell, just now you see the cell, right? Cell is messy.
Yeah.
All the molecules are bumping into each other. It's like a messy noodle. A cell is a bag of water that you're shaking all the time, hoping that things go well.
Mm-hmm.
So even the copying will always have errors. Those errors are mutations. Whatever is a bad mutation kills the cell. Whatever is a good mutation helps the cell. Now, in that pool of water that you warmed up and made more acidic causes the coral to bleach. Whichever bleaches the least has strongest resistance. Now we take the rest and throw them away. We take the strongest one, we let it breed with another strongest one. What will happen is the children will have random mutations that some are going to be weaker, some are going to be stronger. The strongest ones, we will grow better. We'll keep the strongest one, we throw away the rest. Well, because the rest will die as the temperature and acidity increase. Now what we did is we artificially selected coral that is resistant to heat and pH changes. But naturally, temperature and pH is changing already. In fact, we have found bacteria and algae and even corals that some naturally survive in stronger pH and temperature. Because some of them just naturally have the trait that can help them stay strong in those environments. And others just die away. So artificial selection is ones made by humans. Natural selection is by natural changes. Do you see what I mean? The boundary conditions changed by nature is natural selection. Artificial selection is boundary condition chosen by us. Domestication is an example of artificial selection. We chose traits by dogs that help us hunt better.
Yeah.
We chose traits by dogs that treat humans the best and worst for whatever we're hunting. Because wolves or dogs that try to hunt us, we kill them. But dogs that come and play with us, we raise them. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So by generations and generations, dogs are more likely to be friendly to humans, but not to other animals. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. But it's interesting because it's all sort of...
It's stochastic.
It's all based on surviving, though.
Yes, because that's life,
Yeah.
right? So if you look at natural ecology, what happens? Survival of the fittest, right?
Yeah.
Whatever animal gets to eat gets to breed. Whatever doesn't get to eat, they die.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's a grim future of this ecology.
But why do we call things that are affected by humans artificial?
Because we did it, not nature.
But are we not part of nature?
So that comes back to philosophy, right? So humans are very egocentric. We think that we are not nature. So we think that humans stand against nature, right? We try to defy nature. We build things that nature can't do, right? What I mean by that is because, let's say, nuclear reactors. They found natural nuclear reactors. That's fucking crazy. So I'll tell you more about that later. But basically, humans, for a lot, at least in some cultures, for a long time thinks that humans are separate from nature. We are special. We're gifted. We're separate.
Yeah, but is that not what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
It's not. It's by human convention that whatever we made is artificial.
Okay.
So artificial houses versus natural houses. Natural houses are caves.
Yeah.
Artificial houses is what we built. You get what I mean? Anything man-made is artificial. That's why artificial intelligence versus natural intelligence that came from nature. Artificial
I got a
intelligence.
question.
Yeah, that's just just a word.
Okay. Yeah, like if a hermit crab were to sort of scratch out a little home for itself,
That's natural homes.
That would be an artificial home, would it not be? If he created his home using his little legs, I mean, I know their home, their home is their natural home is their shell, right?
Again, this is
where
again,
you could build.
Technically, the shell is created by the cells of the hermit crab.
They don't pick a shell.
Wait. You didn't know that they can make shells?
I thought that they grew out of their shells. Did they not?
Okay. Yes. So some crabs, some species of crabs, they can make their own shell. Some looks for shells. Because why make them when you can look for them?
Yeah.
Again, evolution just looks for what works.
Yeah.
They do not care by how.
Yeah. They're sort of like shell thieves. They're like
So some animals make their own shells.
The grifters of the
exactly. So I might be sorry, I misquoted. Hermit crabs. A lot of hermit crabs, they do not make their own shell, but there are some species that do, and those species that do, when they die, what happens? They leave behind shells.
Yeah.
And other hermit crabs that naked, they look at the shell, be like, I want some of that. So it looks for that. So it uses it for itself.
Yeah.
Because it saves energy, right? Why spend ATP or energy to create a shell?
But that's weird, is you can't have one without the other, right? Because you can't have.
Yes. So let's say all of the shell-making species died.
Yeah.
Non-shell-making species either die or they start making shells because eventually, some generations later, some of them will start making shells because of mutation randomly. Some of them will create a trait that makes the shell harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just another. Oh, also the shell-making species, the shell-making species of snails and crabs, for example, they are. Do you know molting?
Yeah.
They molt.
Yeah.
A shell is just a molt for the snail. So when it molts, it leaves behind a shell.
Yeah.
And it creates a new one. And then another crab or snail can come by and be like, I like that. And it chooses it for its home. In fact, they found hermit crabs that use plastic bottles in nature. Because there's a plastic bottle that fell into the sea.
Yeah.
It started sinking down to the bottom, and a single crab found it, and it's like, I like that shit. And then it hid in there. No, it's just nature's way of surviving.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be shells. It will be saying a hermit crab evolved to live in a bottle. No, it didn't. It just evolves to look for a shelter, and the bottle just happened to be there. Again, natural selection, right? Whatever situation it has, it deals with it. It's like poker.
Is that not artificial natural selection?
It's like, fuck it, bro. So again, this is why communication is important, because language has entropy.
Yeah.
If the entropy is high, you'll misunderstand what I said.
Yeah.
Because your brain is constantly trying to denoise and get what I'm trying to say. And I'm trying to denoise what I'm saying so that you can get what I'm trying to say.
And that's what's kind of interesting too is...
That's why they have entire degrees for science communication.
Yeah. Yeah, and the more, almost... The more jargon you know, the more noise there could be for someone else who doesn't know the jargon.
That's why they say in science communication, don't use jargon.
Yeah.
That's why when I'm trying to explain to you...
Yeah, but that's what's hard sometimes too, is like...
Because we know it as the jargon. We learned it as the jargon. That's why when I say...
And maybe sometimes you don't know it in any other way other than the jargon.
Yeah,
but that's
why I explained to you along the way.
Yeah, but that's probably why it's so advantageous for especially people who are trying to communicate their ideas is to be able to
dumb it down.
Not necessarily dumb it down, but to know it in such a way that it can connect with multiple types of people.
Yes, so that's called analogous thinking or thinking by analogy. But again, analogies die eventually.
Yeah, and you know, you lose some of the complexity sometimes.
So again, analogy is what causes entropy. You get me? But it minimizes it. Instead of just using jargon, which has higher entropy, analogies have lower language entropy.
But why is that? Is that because more people can understand it?
Yes, because people already know something. So when we communicate by analogy, people can just use that model, copy and paste, and be like, oh.
Yeah.
But then we have to explain this is where the analogy ends, because there's still some nuance that hasn't been added to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I showed you. Those biofilm is like an anchor. Anchor is a analogy.
Yeah.
It helps it hold on to it. But that's where the analogy ends.
Yeah.
Because anchors are made of metal. They use proteins.
And I think that's why it's so important for us to just keep doing this.
To learn communication. To improve our communication.
Yes.
It's so sad you didn't go to Oklahoma Research Day. There's this lady.
I know.
Her name is Maven the Science Raven. That's her nickname.
Okay.
So
is she the one who gave the main talk, or
the first opening speech?
Yeah.
So
they always have a good
talk. She says that when we see someone who doesn't understand science, we cannot be mad at them. For example, flat earthers. We can't be mad at them.
Yeah, I ain't mad at flat earthers.
I used to be.
I'm just kind of glad that they're thinking about science in a way, right?
In a weird way, they're trying to do science.
Yeah.
In their own way.
Yeah.
But because so here's the interesting thing. We cannot be mad at them because we are being mad at them for education that we have for 20 years.
Yeah.
We took 20 years to get to where we are today, being able to use OpenClaw to make easing model simulations. We cannot expect just anyone out there who has never been learning this their entire life to be able to do what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if we expect them to do that, that's arrogance.
Yeah.
Because we took years to learn that. They deserve years to learn too.
Yes.
So that's why next time when we get frustrated of someone not getting what we're trying to say, we have to realize we took years to realize what we do today.
Yeah.
We have weeks where we try to figure out how the fuck does this code work.
Yeah, but that's what kills me about being in the same room with fellow students, right? And them maybe struggling, you know, there's students who struggle more than others, and I get frustrated with that because it's like, well, if we're all in the same class, we've had about the same amount of education, so why don't we all...
Because you are more curious and passionate.
Yeah.
They are not.
Yeah.
On our free time, our hobby is literature. Our hobby is documentaries. Our hobby is machine learning street talk.
Dude, you're a nerd.
Okay? Now, you speak for yourself. Look at it. Our page is basically identical.
Yeah.
No. We did not have the same amount of education. We have the same amount of schooling.
Yeah.
But we don't have the same amount of education. Education and schooling is very different.
You're so right.
So we're in the same class, but some will always know more than others.
Yeah.
That's in the chemistry class, there's this lady that always know more chemistry than me. And that makes me competitively salty.
Yeah.
But that makes me want to learn more. But she always knows it because she's been a chemistry nerd since young. You get what I mean? She had that extra years of advantage.
Yeah.
A year is a lot of time. And another class, physics. I can keep up with a lot of them, but then there's this one specific guy who is so good at math. He knows complex analysis like ABC. And I'm like, how? And he's high schooler. And I'm like, how did you know this? And he's like, I've been doing math, high level math since young. Yeah. So we cannot put ourselves in their shoes if we are not going through the same thing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We're competing with a ghost.
Yeah, I guess then my frustration comes from
not starting early.
Well, that, but then also like I wish just more people were more curious because to me
That's our job.
That would mean more interesting people.
Yeah, I agree. And I
mean, I already feel like there's a lot of interesting people, but at the same time, but then everybody has their own things.
Humans are
right?
inherently curious.
Yeah,
we're just all curious about different things.
Yeah.
Our job is to make people curious about more things. For example, you will always be a physics guy, engineering guy. When Dr. Waters came on, you're more interested in chemistry now.
Yeah, for sure.
Because first it relates to your research.
Yeah.
Second, she made it sound like it's a detective game.
The
We're
bee's
trying
knees,
to it's bee's knees. We're trying to find out what a molecule is, and we use so many smart, complex methods to figure out how to elucidate
based
a
on
molecule
physics.
based on physics.
Yeah.
Now I'm showing you that cells have microscopic motors and wires, and they take advantage of noise.
Yeah, that act like transistors.
Yeah.
Right.
And what would have otherwise been waste energy, they would throw away. The electron transport chain uses it to generate more energy.
Yeah, and it's like a little tiny computer, right?
Exactly.
It's taking in electrons and processing information.
It's a tiny circuit.
Yeah.
So now it's a chance for you to be interested in biology because again, AI is inspired by neuroscience. A lot of natural buildings are inspired by what we observe in nature.
Yeah.
The reason we built houses with thick columns back in the day is because we look at trees. They are thick columns spanning and lifting up a lot of weight.
But that's what just kind of sucks to me a little bit about like life in general. How we
can't learn everything.
We can't learn everything. We only have so much time.
Yet.
Yeah.
That's our job too as engineers.
Neuralink.
Not
Give me the chip.
Not just Neuralink, right? You remember in Matrix where you and you're like, I know kung fu.
Okay, but that was a dystopian world.
Why couldn't it happen? I told you the experiment, right? Where they use mice and they transferred knowledge from one mice to another.
Yeah.
The spatial knowledge. So one mice went through a maze. It solved the maze, right? And another control mice that didn't solve the maze. So now they split that control into two. There's two new mice. One mice is control. It never seen a maze before. The other one never seen a maze before either.
Yeah.
But this mice, what they did is it recorded the neural pathways of the mice that already solved the maze and put it into that new mice. What they found is that new mice compared to control solve the maze faster, as if it already been there.
Yeah.
So we already have ways to peek into the human brain, to hear what they're thinking, see what they're imagining, right? The one where they let you wear a cap and they can create an image of what you're imagining. That was in 2001.
Yeah.
And we're in 2026.
And there's people that have just been carrying that research on.
Exactly. So now, combine all that. One day we can do the I know kung fu type shit. We can probably do that someday. So
yeah,
I know how to pilot a plane now. Just upload that shit.
So that's what's cool about these AI agents is you can sort of handcraft skills for it.
Yeah. No, that's the beauty, right? And we may say that's too little time, but thanks to health science, health span and lifespan is increasing. By the way, health span and lifespan is not the same thing. So.
Yeah. Well, but then there's also from what I've heard anyways, that there's also like a biological limit though. Like 150 years.
So that's the biological limit based on the Horvath model. So basically the Horvath clock or the epigenetic clock comes from the fact that as we age, our cells become methylated. So basically, when you look at the cell when we age, the X chromosome, it has the ends, right? The ends are called telomeres. Telomeres are like sort of like shoelaces.
You can lengthen them.
Yeah, the shoelaces.
Apparently, they shorten.
Yeah. So
over time.
when you look at shoelaces, do you notice how the ends are solid?
Yeah.
That is to prevent the shoelace from fraying and degrading. Yeah. Telomeres does the same thing for the DNA. So when they fully go away, the telomeres go away, cells start wreaking havoc. They go through a process called senescence. Aged cells go through senescence. They cause inflammatory problems. They don't function properly anymore. So that is one factor. The Horvath model found that there's another factor in aging, which is called gene methylation. So in DNA, when you methylate a DNA group, they put a methyl group. Methyl group is just a carbon with 3 hydrogens. Methyl group. You put a methyl group onto a DNA, it stops that DNA from working. So all your cells in your body have the same DNA, but why do they act so differently? It's because of methylation. Some DNA is activated, some DNA is closed. You see what I mean? So as you age, just like how
it's like a computer, ones and zeros.
Yes, ons and offs. So some genes are turned on and some genes are turned off. Now, every time you replicate a cell, you get mutations, right? Not just in the DNA itself, but
the universe is computational, dog.
Yeah, Wolfram. Yeah. So the DNA, every time you copy it, you will get some typos, right? Not just the typos are contributing to mutations, but we have epigenetic mutations. So we accidentally turn on and off the wrong genes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That contributes to aging. Because as cells divide, more and more of genes are methylated.
Crazy is that those very simple rules lead to very complex behavior.
Emergent behavior, emergent complexity. Now, here's the best part. Here's the beautiful part. Based on the Horvath model, we can extend life up to 150 years max if you boost every other factor. But scientists found ways to reverse methylation. Now, if you can stop the Horvath clock, you just stop one of the clocks. But here's the problem: aging has so many clocks. Actually, just search up aging factors real quick. They're aging factors. Go to the scroll down. Oh yeah. So cellular aging factors. How about that?
Which one?
There, yeah. Biological aging factors.
This one?
Well, that's a better one. But
which one? This one?
Go up. Up. Just search biological aging factors. Because right now yeah, there we go. Yeah, there, that big clock thing. Yeah. So this is one thing. So what they found is all these things are their own clocks. We're not saying this entire thing acts as one clock.
Brain,
immune system.
I wish these things epigenetic.
Epigenetic is the Horvath one, the one I'm talking about. Dental.
Yeah,
so everything wears
like
away.
Your dental health is
correlated.
Affects you so much, which is kind of insane to think about.
Why? Because it influences how you eat, and how you eat influences how you live.
Yeah.
Cardiovascular health. It correlates with how much activity you have. And if your cardiovascular health is bad, you can't do activity at all. It's a feedback loop.
Yeah.
Hence a clock. It only pushes you down the drain.
I hate this. It's like, come on, guys. Upload PNGs, not JPEGs. Let's go.
Okay, now you can close it. Yeah. So these are called. These are all different biological markers that we found related to aging. So, yes, based on the epigenetic model.
Yeah.
Not even considering everything else.
So you're saying that's theoretical, that we could possibly live
forever if we found a way to manipulate the biological clocks. Brother, we cannot. We just recently learned how proteins fold using AI.
Yeah.
So yes, we can make the ATP synthase, the micromotors. We can design that.
Yeah.
But it takes another few generations.
Yeah.
Because we just we just found out how proteins fold.
And that's why, I don't know, I'm just very optimistic. And whenever people sort of feel pessimistic about these things, I'm just like, whoa. time, just let some time go.
Yeah.
Like you
Well,
look at all the
hopefully we are
things-
alive by then, but
Well, I don't even really worry about that. I'm just like, whenever people are like, oh, this is never gonna happen, I'm like, no, I think give it enough time and give it enough iterations.
someday you can modify your body to
If evolution has gotten us this far, then evolution plus the artificial nature of humans,
our
can-
scaling, our
Yeah.
super exponential scaling, hopefully.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about this idea that, population, human population gets to some number and then
Population collapse.
Yeah. Do you think that could happen to humans?
So population collapse happens in a lot of models. Mice models, in ecological models, they tend to stabilize. And here's the interesting thing. Have you heard of Universe 25 experiment? It's a
No.
nickname.
Universe 25.
Yeah.
I like these.
25 experiment. They call it the behavioral sink model. What they did is, it's a very flawed model. I don't think anyone should take it literally. So you go down.
I'm going to take it literally right now.
That's what we're not supposed to do. So that is called the rat utopia experiment.
Oh,
I think it's technically mice, but I think it is rats. But basically, they let mice have unlimited food, water, and shelter, sex, and all that. What they found is eventually they'll have overcrowding, and what they found is some of them starts adopting lazy behavior, like hermits. They just want to stay at home. They don't want to meet other rats, and they found that eventually a new emergent behavior is hierarchy. Hierarchy by color, size, and sex. Now that sounds familiar. And they also found homosexual behaviors in the rats. So male starts mating with males, female starts mating with females. And if I'm being all honest, it's already happening in nature. It's just less. But they found that it has increased in this rat model.
Interesting.
At least allegedly. I haven't read this in a long time. They also found that their violence is not by scarcity anymore. Their violence is by territory, not for scarcity anymore. And they started fighting out of irritation. They started fighting out of group cliques. So they don't like you, they don't like them. And they also found more mental health related disorders, anxiety disorders, depression in the mice, sexual dysfunction. So they either have sex too much or have sex too little. And eventually they repeated the experiment 25 times. All the experiments point to collapse. Hence why I call it behavioral sink. Behavioral sink applies to a lot of different models. This is just the first time it was recorded. Behavioral sink just means that what happens if you constrain a specific organism or species in a specific situation. The behavior will always lead to that. For example, if I put you in the white room, right, the torture method, the white room, just all white, no colors, sensory deprivation, just all white. The behavioral sink will lead you eventually to insanity. That's a behavioral sink. A behavioral sink just means in a given situation constrained.
Yeah.
What will happen to
There's only so many things that
you can do.
Yeah.
And hence your brain will go into feedback loops, blah, blah, blah. So that's what they found. But here's, again, this is a model. They don't give toys, and the space is too small. Here's a fun part, right?
There's a fun part to this.
Yes. A single hamster can walk up to 12 kilometers per night. Do you need that in freedom units? So 12 kilometers in...
Oh, they only allow it to do that?
No. Naturally. Wild hamsters. It's about 7.5 miles.
Oh, okay.
So a single tiny hamster can travel 7.5 miles.
Wow, so it's just constantly just getting after it.
Yes, because they're looking for food.
Yeah.
You constrain rats, which are more active, more or less, than hamsters in a enclosure that tiny.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to go insane.
And it was 10 by 14 foot?
Yeah, 10 by 14 foot. So it's very tiny.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of zoos. No shade to zoos. I love zoos, but I hate zoos at the same time. Love-hate relationship. Because a lot of zoos mistreat their animals. A lot of zoos and sanctuaries do not have up to standard according to the animal's nature. Humans, for example. This is where it gets interesting. This is a perfect example of correlation does not mean causation. But basically, humans are also long-distance runners. We're persistent hunters. We travel long distances thanks to our evolutionary adaptation.
Yeah.
We're not sprinters. We're marathon runners. How many marathon runners do you see every day?
Not very many.
Yeah, humans become lazy. Sound familiar? At a disposal of a lot of resources, at access to a lot of resources, humans become lazy out of convenience.
But my thing is like, it says this is Ratopia. This
Does
doesn't
not look like Retopia. No, exactly. That's why that's why some people renamed it. I think Reddit people renamed it to Universe 25 to make it more dramatic.
Okay.
So, but again, it's not. Again, that's why I call it a model. Take it with a huge grain of salt, as big as the room itself, because you have to realize models are to look at specific phenomenon based on a given constraint. That's how experiments work.
Yeah.
Again, it's a very limited experiment. Okay? Again, in a real world situation, will this happen? I don't think so.
Well, and then that's what's tough. It's like in real world situations, you have so many different parameters.
Exactly.
You know?
So again, that's why there's limitations.
Yeah.
It's just that this helped discover behavioral sync as a behavior in constrained situations.
Yeah.
That's why hermits exist. That's why drug abuse exists. So, for example, another way to describe behavioral sync is remember the rat experiment?
Yeah.
If you keep the mice or a rat in a small cage with 2 bottles, one with a drug, one with water, right? What will it do? It'll eat the drug until it dies. But if you give a giant cage with toys, mates, friends, a lot of food, variety of food, and then you put the 2 same bottles, drug and water, they'll drink more water than the drug. A healthy environment fosters healthy behavior, a behavioral sync. If you're isolated, you're alone, you're bored, you're depressed, you're gonna take artificial stimulants, like the rat taking the drug. So it explains how, and again, it's a rat model. It's a behavioral sync model. It's not trying to explain everything. It can give some speculative factor, give some weight to reasons why some people are addicted to drugs, because they don't have a fulfilling life, they have an abusive past, they're depressed, they're alone, they're bored, they're lonely, that's why they take drugs. There's a lot of reasons. This is just one experiment that supports that.
Yeah.
We're not saying that one experiment is the defining factor. There's
because there can be
lots of
so
different
many
experiments.
reasons why people take drugs, right?
Exactly.
Exploratory behavior, curiosity, you know.
Or again, it could
research,
or they could just actually be lonely. Yeah. So there's a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Again, experiments are experiments.
Yeah.
Take them with a grain of salt.
For sure.
That's where reasoning comes in.
Yeah, I'll just be honest. So it's 2:00 right now, and I should probably head out.
Sure.
Because I still have to pack and stuff to.
Where are you going for?
So we're going to Wolf Creek.
Wolf Creek?
Yeah. So
me and my friends are going to Eufaula.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Eufaula's beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been there. So
Yeah.
They planned it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful part of Oklahoma for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Hell yeah. I think we need to explore as humans.
But for me, it's only 2 days, 1 night. Yours is probably the entire week, right?
Yeah, I think we come back. We leave Saturday, come back. I believe next Friday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we do this we've been doing this. I think this is our 4th year.
That's awesome. It's like a family tradition now.
Yeah. And every year I get a little bit better at snowboarding. So
that's awesome.
I'm stoked to get out there and.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope today I shown you how interesting social science and evolutionary biology is.
No, yeah, I'm always you're always inspiring me to go down this
diversify
this rat hole
rat hole
of biology
and social science. Social science is very interesting.
Yeah, and you know, I think for me, it's a little. How would I say? It's a little scary, right? Because there's just so much
more. Right?
Yeah, and so that's, I think, my sort of, because I know how curious I can be, and so I know that as soon as I start going down that hole, like, it's gonna become like a feverish journey, right? I'm just gonna want to keep going, and so. That's why I like having you as a friend, though, because it's like
I appreciate that.
Because you just always inform me on these very interesting ideas in this field. So, you know, it's like, okay, do I decide to go down this? I mean, of course, there are some things I feel like I'm definitely going to go down, like some more neuroscience type stuff. Because of, you know, my engineering background, I definitely want to get into the flagellums and like how they're designed.
Yeah.
But then also part of me is like, well, I get very informed just here on the podcast with you.
I appreciate that.
So
again, the reason why I like learning so much things about science is, can you search one thing? This is the last thing.
Yeah.
I swear. It's called August with an E at the end.
August 25
with an E.
Oh, Augusta.
And Augusta Hierarchy of Science.
What what happened?
We call this in chess mouse slipping. So Augusta Hierarchy of Sciences. Yeah, it's the first one. So you go to images.
Yeah.
That's a better one, but it's okay. All of this would work. But basically, I do not see the hard divide in science. People be like, why are you studying so many different kinds of sciences? Because this is exactly how I see science. I don't see a hard divide between physics and chemistry. I don't see a hard divide between chemistry and biology.
I hate these images. You can just see them.
No, we can just zoom in while we go to Google. We can zoom in while in Google. Yeah, we can zoom in while at Google. Oh my god, that's just annoying.
So annoying.
Oh my god, Google, you gotta do better. Okay, so for example, that.
Here. This one?
Yeah, so or any one of these. So mathematics, you derive mathematics, and then you can use math to explain physics. I don't know why astronomy is just slid in there. But I guess astronomy explains space. Space explains Earth. Earth explains...
Gives us that sense of awe.
Yeah. So what they're trying to say is that from the most simplest axioms to the highest of complexity, you can all explain each other. Yeah. Math can explain astronomy, astronomy can explain physics, physics can explain chemistry, chemistry can explain biology, biology can explain sociology. Yeah. And that's how I see science. I do not see a hard divide.
But what
and then morality is different because
the foundation is mathematics. Yeah. Which is kind of funny because, like,
Stephen Wolfram.
I get it why mathematics is there, but it's like, what is math? And then you start to get into that, and it's
that rat hole. So
and it's like, okay, so we really don't even know what math is, but yet our foundation is built on the top of this thing that there's like so many misunderstandings about.
Yeah,
but that's what I love too. Also, is like, you can build a stairway to heaven, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be concrete.
So that's why I see this as how I see science. I do not see physics as physics. Biology is biology. Biology came from complex chemistry.
Yeah, I think of it as the sciences.
Yes, they all connect to each other, is my point.
The foundations of reality.
Yeah, what I like to add in between biology and sociology is neuroscience or neurology. And then neurology will be cognitive psychology. And then cognitive psychology is what allows us to have sociology.
But they're probably lumping that in with biology, right? Like
so neuroscience will be biology, and then cognitive psychology will probably be with sociology. But that's where the line blurs. Again, this model is from Augustus. Augusta is very old. He's like... let me search how old is he. He is 1849 is when he made this little model. So they don't even have the term neuroscience yet.
This little model.
Yeah. So if you expand this to the modern day, they will have the in-betweens. Anthropology, political science, economics is all part of social science. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Yeah. Well, I guess a good place to end it.
Yeah. Sorry, that feels very abrupt.
Yeah, but
no.
No, I'm just saying that's how I see science. So I hope everyone can see science like that. It's to learn everything.
Yeah.
Of course, still specialized though.
And I know I say this probably a lot, right? But I find so much inspiration from it, which is innovation happens at the intersection of disciplines.
Yes.
Right? So you can't have these big leaps of innovation from just understanding one little niche thing, right? You have to have a well-rounded vision of all the different disciplines, so that you can use them all to your advantage, right?
Because also many inspiration.
Think about the computer, the phone, right? Those are things that are based off of so many different things.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
circuitry, design.
Can we switch one last thing?
Yeah. Well, so the reason why I also say that we need to wrap up is because once we get past 3 hours, things start to go wonky.
Yeah. Okay, so I started last
like the audio and things
that.
like that. Yeah.
So you remember how we usually move charges using ions and electrons, right?
Yeah.
And in most cases, electrons because cables. Metallo-organic frameworks. Metallo-organic frameworks.
Metallo-organic
frameworks. There's a study from OU, at least. OU, very nearby, right? So when you want to take into consideration how charge spreads through the lattices in these metallo-organic frameworks, you have to consider both electrons moving around, but also how hydrogen ions move from one part to the other.
Interesting.
So chemistry, biology can help inspire other sciences, like other parts of material science, other parts of physics. Someday we can use this for more efficient stuff. Not just a last tangent I want to bring up.
Yeah. Crystallographic information, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
These structures, these crystal structures, I just always love. So wait, this is a molecule. Is that what this is saying? Yeah, hydrophobic acid.
So the hydrofluoric acid and then the
chromium ion cluster.
Yeah, chromium ion cluster is bounded together by that acid and hydrofluoric acid. It's the catalyst. Hydrofluoric acid is the catalyst that binds all of them together.
Interesting. Huh.
So yeah, beautiful frameworks. Yeah, MOFs. The short form is MOFs, metallo-organic frameworks. OU has a brilliant study on them. You should definitely read it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that we can get some researchers on from OU.
Yeah.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah. Also be excited. We have a few more professors coming up this semester.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that after this. I kind of wanted to talk to you on the podcast, but I think we need to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyways,
until next time. Let's go. How do you pause that?
Just press the red button.